Hello everyone, I'm Sean Green, your play-by-play commentator for this first match of the 2023 Cross-Border Darts Challenge, brought to you by the Championship Darts Corporation live at the beautiful White Eagle Hall in Jersey City, New Jersey. And I'm honored to introduce my co-commentator for this match, the incredible Mark Taggart. Mark, we have the Canadian from Yellowknife, Northern Territories, taking on the local kid from New York City, late edition Joey Lynaugh, 21 years old. Considering Way was originally going to play Danny Baggish a week ago, he has to feel pretty good going into this one, right?
If only that's the case. Great to see you again, my friend Sean.
Great to be
Nice to be back in the booth with you. We already heard it. We are in Jersey City, and Joey essentially is a local boy. And we know that the crowd will absolutely be cheering on not only the local boy, but the USA, probably quite vibrantly the whole time here. And I will say, although it's not Danny Baggish, this is a different challenge for Keith Way this evening. So we shall see how this plays out. I'm super intrigued and super excited to kick off what an awesome tournament we've got for the weekend.
Yeah, first of all, let's talk about the venue. Beautiful venue. You walk in and you have the stained glass panels on the ceiling that are beautiful. It's nice and big.
Yeah, it really is one of the best venues I've seen in the North American Dart Tournament for sure. The stage is awesome. The team did a really, really good job, and great crowd out there as well. Really, really good venue for this inaugural tournament. Top 8 Canadians versus the top 8 Americans. Really, really good stuff.
100.
Joey kicks in with a ton there.
Yeah, he's gone 93 to 100 back-to-back. Sitting on 250 after 9. And averaging 83.67. His average overall in the CDC last year was an 82.38. But he did...
Look at Joey here. Sorry, Sean.
No, you're good. But he did raise it up for the Continental Cup this past year at an 85.85. So Joey likes the stage, and especially in New York City.
Yeah, look at this from Keith. Nice response.
100.
Nearly got our first 180 of the tournament there. Yeah, Joey really does like, he likes these big occasions. He doesn't get daunted, doesn't get fazed by it. You know, he's earning his stripes, if you will, over in the development tour in the UK. He's playing a lot, the DPNY, DP New Jersey. He's playing all those tournaments in addition to traveling as well to the North American tournaments. And he'll be, you know, moving around on the CDC tour as it kicks off as well.
There you go, double 20 on the first leg, 1-for-1 on the double for Joey Lynaugh.
If we thought Joey was going to be daunted by this task, it looks like not at all. Great first leg there from Joey.
No, well done. Just class 18 darter right there, and that'll work. Let's talk real quick about the fact that this format tonight is a race to 4. How does that affect the players?
Yeah, so best of 7 matches. You know, we talk about the long format darts. This is a little trickier where you have to settle fast. You do not want to be sort of facing 2-leg deficits, 2-0 down, 3-0 down. Look at this from Joey. He tries to fill it up. Yeah, there's not that much room for maneuver here. You know, as the format gets longer, you've got a bit of chance to, you know, ease your way into the match. But here you want to get out of the blocks early and apply that pressure to your opponent and drive towards that 4-leg target, like you mentioned.
Yeah, it is. It's more of a sprint than a marathon, absolutely.
Yeah, another steady ton 40 there from Joey. His scoring is nice. He's finding that treble quite regularly so far. And a great response from Keith.
Yeah, Keith.
Fills it up for our first 180 of the tournament. Keith Way.
There you go. I'm sure they weren't expecting the flashes as Joey was shooting that next round. But
Oh, yeah.
hey, it'll work. We'll see what happens.
So Keith's got a chance here at the 80. Should at least get one shot at tops.
And he hits it.
Great last start there. You saw he was aiming high in the bed for those 20s. Almost like a guide for him. So nice, clean 260 and 6 starts there from Keith Way to level us up at 1-1.
Yeah, I think we're going to settle in here now. Both these guys very even on the averages on the CDC last season, within a point of each other. So that's not going to make a difference.
Yeah, both around 83, I believe.
Joey scores a touch better, but the big storyline is going to be his finishing. If he finishes well, I don't see him losing, especially going first in the first leg.
Yeah, it's it's really hard to make predictions, especially in these opening matches. There's not that much to choose from, but like you said, we've already seen 2 clean kills in both those first legs. If that continues, we probably could go all the way here.
Yeah, right now our checkout percentage for both guys is 100%. That's always nice.
Always.
Keith is starting to find the distance for sure on that stage.
140.
Both of them have a really nice rhythm and a nice pace. They actually complement each other. There's not that much time wasted on the line. They're getting on with their work here.
Early on, I'm going to say this. Joey is not throwing the dart as firmly as I typically see him throw. And I don't know if that's nerves trying to place the dart or maybe just he's changed his style a little bit in the last 4 months, 5 months than I'm used to.
Maybe, yeah. It's an interesting one because Keith Way throws it
very hard.
If you notice here. So we might just be seeing a bit of a comparison between the two.
101 was left there for Keith. Leaves double 10, but Joey double 4. Wow.
The 100% doubling record continues for Joey. Made that look ridiculously easy with a 17 darter to back up his 18. It's a really nice standard of darts. Both players in the 90s in leg 4 here.
97.
Great cover shot there from Joey. Finds that treble 19.
Well, these are the averages we're seeing in this first match. We're in for a good night of darts, and we were in for that anyway.
I don't think that was ever in doubt, but you're absolutely right. As Keith bangs in another ton 40. Yeah, back to your point around the distance.
Yeah.
There's a little excitement around the shorter formats as well because you're never quite sure. There might be a back and forth, but it's not a long back and forth, if that makes sense. For a player to go sort of 3-0 up, it's not impossible to get 4 in the bounce, but you'd really have to hit a rich vein of form. But, dare I say that it could happen this evening. We see a player come back and win 4 in the trot.
Oh, I think that's a definite possibility at some point if it ends up happening that way.
Yeah, any of these players are good enough to rattle off maybe 2, 3 12s and either run away with a match or peg a match back. Ooh. Joey's letting us know exactly what he thought of that 11-point round there.
The many faces of Joey Lynaugh.
Yes, sir.
But Keith?
He's not taking advantage here.
44.
He's just trying to tidy this up as best he can. But Joey can have a nice turn here. He's going to put pressure on the 95.
140.
95 is not really my favorite out because of the double 19 is never fun.
It's an interesting. There he goes. He's going the safe route. So 20. Missed the big number to give him a shot of bullseye there.
And man, he had to feel so excited with how that first start was laying on the 25.
Yeah, I don't know if he pulled that into the 1 or maybe it slipped, but it was miles away.
75. 18 will leave tops. 2 for 2 so far.
Ooh.
55.
Just drags it inside. So a bit of a reprieve here for Keith. Shoot. No, he's not going to get 2 darts. So another.
Oh.
30.
And he doesn't hit tops either. So there's a chance for Joey to stretch his lead to 2.
Oh, a huge moment in this match right here.
Game shot the forward leg.
Sneaks that into the top corner of the double 10. So here we go.
Fifth leg, it's Joey to throw
Joey
first.
bricks Keith, and now, before you know it, he's thrown for the match.
And he's 3 for 4 on doubles.
60.
Yeah, Keith will be kicking himself there. He really made a lot of hard work out of that 95.
And this is the struggle and the beautiful thing about this format is that Keith down a break. Well, now it's only one leg away for Joey, and he has no other choice than to break from this point forward. So, and the other thing, if Keith does break here, he's throwing to tie it up, sends it to the last leg decider. So, interesting.
Yeah, I think that'll be the tale of the weekend, where there's a glass half full, glass half empty type of conversation. But the one thing's for sure, Joey's favorite for this match currently. He's got a 100-point lead. He started this leg.
Yeah.
Keith will need to get his scoring boots on if he wants to try and peg this one back.
100.
100 keeps him there. The problem is that with Joey being so great on the doubles in this match, you don't want him to get the first look at the double.
Well, we've seen Keith take out 260 and 6 darts to win his first leg. Boy, would he love to do that again, but it's not going to happen.
A ton here will leave a finish.
100.
You heard the thud as he forced that through the first 2 darts.
95. Keith will require 160.
This has almost got to go. It's not going to, so.
He needs at least a big treble to put some pressure on this 106.
44.
It does
Joey
not.
require 106.
Joey, 106 for the match. Trip 18 would have left 32.
Ooh, a chance here for Keith. 116 is very doable. He only needs one big treble.
He's running the 19s to try and leave tops. Not going to do so.
90.
He found the treble, but he was 1 dart late. So 65 to take this first match and straight into bullseye.
He's just too good.
He has to regroup. He's going to get a shot at double 4 to win this.
For the match.
No.
61.
So here we go, just like you said, Sean. Here's a chance for Keith.
There it is.
On the 5th leg.
He extends the match, and now he's throwing to tie it up, and then we go to the crapshoot for the last leg decider. If he can convert here.
Game on.
The pressure this is going to put on the 21-year-old if Keith does hold his throw here. Joey doesn't feel pressure anymore at this point, right? Even at 21 years old.
Everybody feels pressure when it's coming to try and hit that last double to win a match.
I will say this. The Whirlwind, a week ago, he had tickets to this event as a spectator. Gets the last second call, and really, not shockingly, has shown why he belongs in this field.
Oh yeah, there's no surprises with Joey now. He can play with the best of them in North America. We've seen it. You know, he's playing with some of the best youngsters over in the development tour in the UK, and he's doing more than holding his own. He's taken many of notable scalps, if you will.
Absolutely.
And he, like I said, he's earning his stripes. He's getting more and more experience. And these big occasions, these big stages do not faze him at all. But Keith as well. Keith's been around a long time. Keith plays with, you know, some of the veterans in Canada. He actually represented Canada before in the WDF. He represented them in 2019. He was on Team Canada. So he's no stranger to these big occasions as well. And I'm sure he's loving the chance to represent the top 8 Canadians here as well.
Absolutely. And you mentioned it briefly that he's a veteran. He retired from the armed forces in Canada about a year ago. So,
yeah, he's down to 41 here after 15 darts. And Joey, great ton 40 just to let him know that he's here. He's just waiting if he gets the chance. So double 16. He's got one left in his hand. Great dart, and we hear it from Keith with a big come on as he levels us up at 3-3. So last leg decider in our first match here, Sean. Joey with the throw, which is the only advantage that he's going to get here.
I feel like we talked it into fruition, right?
We said it was possible. So we get 2 legs on the spin from Keith. He'd be looking to try and convert that, hold on to the momentum. Joey started with a 40.
81.
And that's not a huge last start from Keith, but it is a little bit just to knock on the door of the youngster.
Yeah, he didn't totally punish it, but here we go. There's another slack visit there from Joey Lynaugh.
Absolutely.
Essentially, he has given away his advantage that we talked about in starting this leg.
100.
A steady ton from Keith.
Yeah, Keith now the odds-on favorite to win the leg.
I think, oh, look at that. Joey's saying otherwise. Big ton 80 there from Joey Lynaugh. What a ton 80 to hit in this deciding leg.
Silent but deadly. And right there,
100.
just silently throws in a 180 just to get right back into it. Now back in control.
Look at this.
73.
We no clue where that 12 came from. And Joey lets us know about it. So he's wrestled the darts back, but Keith with a big turn will say otherwise. Steady ton again there from Keith. Down to a finish first here. Shanghai when he returns.
13.
And
Another slack visit from Joey.
Joey leaves the 160, but here we go, 120.
Not going to do it on this occasion.
There we go, tops. Oh,
80.
almost pulls it off. That first start did look like a blocker. You're absolutely right. And Joey is not going to hit the 160.
85.
So a slack last leg decider from Joey Lynaugh at the worst time. Keith Way, 3 darts at tops
40.
for the match and to win 3 on the spin to win the match.
Game
And he
shot.
gets
Great,
it.
great dart there from Keith Way. 16 darter in the last leg. Joey will be kicking himself though.
And how about this? Keith Way, the entire match,
Ladies and gentlemen,
missed
a round of applause for Joey Lynaugh.
3 darts at a double.
Yeah, it was an interesting match where it was almost like his last 6 to 9 darts in each leg from Keith was when he turned it on. And like you said, his doubling was very impressive, especially in that short format. But Joey will be kicking himself in that last leg. So many errant turns, so many visits, not only trebleless, but in the 30s and the 40s. He did have that ton 80 to pull himself back into that leg, but not to be. So Keith Way moves on, and we have our first Canadian through.
It's a point on the board for the Canadian.
Yeah, we should mention
Welcome
the Nations
back
Cup.
to the 2023 CDC Cross Border Darts Challenge, live from Jersey City.
So you want to get into darts, but you're not sure how. We can definitely help with that. We're A to Z darts.com, and we've been a darts specialty store for over 30 years. We have the greatest variety of darts in the country. But don't worry, we can narrow down that selection for you, whether you're a complete beginner or a full-on expert. We developed our own Colonial brand to offer an inexpensive line of darts, dartboards, and accessories, so you can get into the game without breaking the bank. Join our amazing community by going to azdarts.com.
Hey, Kev, can you shut the door for us? All right.
Thanks, dude.
Now we lost everything. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with our first round here at the Cross-Border Darts Challenge. And welcome to the stage from the USA, a former CDC match play champion, the man that came through Q School to become a PDC tour code holder. He is the Dutch Dragon, Jules van Dongen.
Everybody heard you just fine. I got messages from 6 different people during that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Baggish, Jeremiah Millar, David Gott, Sean Shinwell, and Jeremy Burton.
Saying anything?
Just hey, can't hear you. It's all good. There's Jules.
Well, here he goes.
The Dutch and their techno.
He's no Dirk Van Dijvenbode.
I love
I think
it.
it might be the same song, though.
Oh, they can hear
A
us on
man
screen.
that's made 9 World Championship appearances. He's the reigning World Seniors Masters Champion, Excalibur, David Cameron.
Well, welcome back, friends. I'm Sean Green, your play-by-play commentator for the second match of the 2023 Cross-Border Darts Challenge at the beautiful White Eagle Hall in Jersey City, New Jersey. And I'm pleased to welcome back my co-commentator for this match, a voice that soothes the soul, Mr. Mark Taggart. Mark, on paper, this match could be the one that everyone noticed right away, with the Dutch Dragon from Kansas City, Missouri, Jules van Dongen, taking on 5-time CDC event winner and Canadian #1 seed, David Cameron. What can we expect out of these two players?
Fireworks.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of fireworks. This one excites me a lot. Two players having lots of success domestically and across the pond. Playing lots of darts. Lots of matches under their belts. Jules literally just came back from the Pro Tour 2 days, back home, sees the family, kisses the kids, packs his bag, and now he's in Jersey for this one. Really excited to see who gets through this one. This is a tough first round, tough draw, in all honesty.
Absolutely. Well, if you remember last year, Jules drew Danny Baggish twice in 3 events in Canada. So he is used to these bad draws, it seems like.
Well, it's like anything. You've got the top 8 people representing Canada, the top 8 representing the USA. Is there really an easy draw?
No,
In all honesty?
there is not.
But this one definitely stands out just based on
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
the level that
Leg
both have been
one,
playing
Dave
at here in
Cameron to throw first.
2023.
Game on.
I am not going to try and pick a winner.
No, this one, all you can hope for in a match like this is that it goes the distance.
Yeah, well, we were treated to that in the first matches. We saw Keith peg Joey back and then drive to the finish line in the last leg decider. This one has lots of potential to go that way as well. David Cameron kicks us off with a ton 40.
Yeah, David Cameron has always been a fantastic scorer. His first 9 average, 97.16 last year. His overall average, an 88.72. And here's why. His checkout percentage is so good now. 41%. Every time he gets a look at a checkout, he's hitting it 41% of the times. That's incredible. And honestly, that used to be a knock against him was doubles. And now he's hitting doubles and scoring the way he scores.
Yeah, he just, I don't know, in the last couple of years. So I was chatting to him last year in Indianapolis, and he was really on the fence about just leaving his job. And this was going to be the full-time gig. Good ton 40 there from Jules. And I think he's semi-retired now. He's doing a lot of traveling, in Canada, doing the CDC tour. He's over in the UK, as we talked about a lot, in Europe. And this has become his main job these days. And he's very, very business-like. You'll see him here at the back of the stage. Looks down, just doesn't let anything his opponent's doing affect him. Tries to stay in that zone, stay in the rhythm. Real professional. And hard nut to crack is Excalibur.
Trip 19 would have left the double 16. We've got 70 left over. See if he goes 18s or 10s. He went 10s.
He knows he's coming back with Jules sitting back there on 183. So all we can do is see some pressure on the 60. Jules would love to find 2 trebles in this visit.
And let's talk about Jules Van Dongen real quick. He honestly has only been playing darts competitively for a couple years.
Oh, yeah.
And to reach the pinnacle of what he's reached already is insane.
One dart here. Look at that. After missing the big 20 with dart 1, cleans that up to get his first leg on the board and an 18 dart hole to throw from David Cameron. Yeah, Jules Van Dongen. What a explosion he had onto the dart scene, and he really is pushing hard. Same vein as David. This is not a hobby anymore for him. This is how he's making money. This is how he's providing for his family, and he's doing an amazing job in all fronts. He actually plays a lot of soft tip as well and is very proficient. He's heading out to Vegas next week, I believe, for an 8-day marathon out there.
Usually when you hear 8-day marathons in Vegas, it's not for darts.
Oh, yeah. Handling 8 days in Vegas just across the board. Hats off. Oh, and another thing while we're talking about marathons.
Yeah.
Mr. Van Dongen is a avid Ironman and triathlete as well, just to add that to the mix.
I can tell just by looking at him the shape that he stays in. And we might as well mention it. He has movie star looks, right? And guess what? He's about to star in a movie.
Oh, yeah?
He's in Bowles the movie. He has been hired on there with Danny Baggish.
Oh, cool.
To be a part of that project. And so that's going to be exciting.
That'll be fun.
And gets 80 there, leaves a finish. So he'll get the first look at the checkout. Dave can put a lot of pressure on this, though.
Yeah, sitting on 292 after 9 darts. So not the scoring leg that we would expect from David. So finds 1 treble, but plenty of time here for Jules to level us up. He knows he's coming back to the board, wants to take a chunk out of this.
92.
Switched across to the 12s.
That was an interesting last dart. Leaves 56. He had 68 left.
He could have stayed. Don't know if that was a marker or a blocker with the treble 20, but chose to move. We'll see if he goes 20 for double 18 here. He's looking down the board to the 16s. So 2 darts at tops. Not quite a marker. Can he slide it down? Nope. Chance for Cameron on a very doable 136. Just wants to find this first treble. Not going to
do it. Sorry.
Nope.
All right. 96 left. Jinx. Our first of the night. Yeah, he moved over because he was completely blocked.
Smart last start there.
Great last start. Double 10 now for Jules. Still double 10.
Oh, that's 5 darts at an out from Jules. So a chance for David to double his lead here. Double 10. Double 5. Ooh, and slides inside on that too. Big reprieve for Jules Van Dongen here. He has to find this double 10 and not going to do it.
Yeah, that was a me shot there to leave the double 7.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Let's see what that means to Jules. So David's got to tidy this up to give himself a shot. Just about gets the 1, so 2 darts at double 2.
The double trouble is happening early on, and Jules pumping himself up there. He's like, come on, man.
He knows that he's got 2 chances that he probably didn't think he was going to get.
There it is. He just needed the madhouse to get it done.
Wow.
Nothing like a 27-dart hole to throw.
Yeah, and at least 12 of them were at doubles.
You know what? At the end of the day, he'll take it.
Exactly. Absolutely right. So that was a hole to throw by Jules, as much as he tried to give it away.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that those averages are going to rise up by the end of this match. And also, no matter what else happens, unless something crazy where they throw like 9 darters, I think we'll see whoever plays tomorrow will have a higher average than they have in this match, I would believe.
Yeah, this is the short format. That's a bit of an anomaly with that amount of doubles. But it does happen. We know that. There's plenty of time and there's plenty of opportunities to do some scoring. Jules will want to put that right. He could put 20 points on that average over a 2-leg period here pretty easily, as long as the doubles cooperate, of course.
The one thing that I'm seeing that's slightly different from Jules than last time I saw him play is that he tends to have a little shoulder movement when he throws. Typically, he'll bring that shoulder in a touch. He's not doing that right now, which I think is a better thing because he's not moving across and having to time that.
He's trying to minimize all that sort of extra movement just to give him that, extra percentage of consistency. As you see, David Cameron, there's no real movement at all except for just that throwing arm. But I do really like Jules' follow-through. Great ton 40 there from
That
Jules.
was wonderful. Needed. Perfectly timed. We'll have the first look at a finish to break the throw of David Cameron. Excalibur, is it next week, is playing in the World Seniors Masters as the #1 seed. Of course, the defending champion of that event.
Yeah, we have him and Mr. Gates, who's getting some success on that tour as well.
To say the least, the champion of champions.
Yes, sir. He's been throwing up some great averages in that tournament. But yeah, David Cameron I think he's loving that event, and he's loving being on
tops.
Oh, no. Right on the wire there. So a chance for Jules to break. Let's see if he can clean this up. Oh, not there. And by his standards, it's another chance missed.
The major unfortunate thing is that you can't miss by any less than that. Double 10 hits for David Cameron. Takes the 2-1 lead, but if Jules is hitting doubles, he's up 2-1 right now.
Yeah, he's got to be disappointed. He had a chance there to sort of put his first leg to bed and then actually break David in unexpected fashion, let's be honest. And 4 clear at double 4 and fails to convert it.
58 there.
Bit of a nervy affair, this match so far, a little bit, I'd have to say.
140.
Nice 140 there from Jules, and this is what we're seeing out of these players. It's just little moments of their true scoring power.
Yeah, we're getting flashes of what we know they're capable of, but it's not quite there just yet. You know, there's plenty of gears that both players could click through here.
Do you think part of the slow start here by both players is the fact that this is their first time throwing on this stage ever? They didn't warm up on it except for those 9 darts each. The crowd is actually kind of loud in the background. I don't know if you can hear that on your from the broadcast, but it is lively in there.
24.
Yeah, it's to me, I think when you have one of those legs where you miss so many at doubles, it does the opposite of settling you down. It sort of plays on your mind and makes you a little uneasy. And then, you know, he had chances in that other leg and sort of compounded that problem by missing 3 at double 4. So they haven't really settled into the task. I don't think the crowd noise or the crowd volume would bother either of these two because, you know, they've played on lots of stages in lots of different environments. But I think it might just be that case of, you know, playing on their mind of the chances and the opportunities they both miss, because the scoreline could be the complete opposite. Scoreline could easily even be 3-0 to David Cameron, in all honesty, too.
Absolutely right.
So
he's missed plenty of opportunities as well. Jules will come back with 60.
The only thing that they can do is put that right and start converting some of the chances.
Well, 20 for tops. Oh, boy. That's a bit close to the treble.
Yeah, he's doing the right thing and just composing himself. Again, that's not quite a marker.
Oh,
Big dart there from Jules. Really big dart.
and almost a sigh of relief.
Yeah. We saw what it meant to him with the fist pump there, and squares us up at 2-2. So now we officially have best of 3 on our hands.
I love it.
Old school.
Let's do it. It's a good marker on the first dart for Jules on the treble, but does not capitalize on it.
He dragged that last one down, so ton to open from David. We'll see what he can follow in his second visit.
Again, averages-wise for both these guys, much different than what you're seeing in this match. Of course, you have an 88.72 for David Cameron over last season, and the Continental Cup average was an 88.46. Now, averages don't tell the whole story, but these averages are telling us a story that they're missing doubles is really what it is.
It really is.
Their scoring power is not quite where we would see it either, I would say, but it's not been dreadful.
Yeah, no. When you miss doubles and clumps like that, you know, we know it has a significant impact, especially over these shorter formats as well.
I want to give a huge shout out to the White Eagle Hall. It is a beautiful venue again here in Jersey City, New Jersey, and shout out to the crowd.
Oh yeah,
they're lively.
Absolutely. It's a little partisan, given the fact that we're
sure.
in New Jersey. I'm sure the Canadians knew what they expect when they came in, but it's always great to see people participating, enjoying the event. What a great venue concept, and really excited to sort of see the elite face off quite early in the year here.
Well, this is the first cross-border darts challenge from the CDC.
Chance for Cameron for a 1-1-6.
Almost gets it. Let's look at this 161 from Jules before I continue my conversation with myself and you. Not going to hit it, so Dave's going to come back with 20 left.
He stayed up there. Thought he might throw at the bull with the last one.
I think bull was the right shot there.
2 10s from David Cameron.
3-2 lead.
Yeah. So he holds. He's trying to force this to a last leg decider. Jules, if he can hold, and we will have back-to-back 7-leg matches.
I've got to be honest with you. I will take 8 7-leg matches this evening and be happier for it. The format here is an interesting one, right? Because you have, first, if you are the champion of this, you get a spot at Madison Square Garden. Right across the river there. Not only that, it's $5,000 to first place. And $2,000 is the runner-up. And I know you're... So, a lot of money on the line here.
Oh, yeah. This is...
I even shocked you.
a nice weekend's work. Yeah, I was stunned silence there for a second. I was trying to quickly convert that in Canadian in my mind.
That was awesome. That was good.
Yeah, no. What
Oh, the crowd is excited. I don't know if you guys saw the score that he just scored there, but let's just say we are all middle schoolers at heart.
26 from David Cameron in his response.
I think that's giggling at the 69 from the crowd.
They're having a wry smile there, both of them on the side. Look at David smirking in the background there.
You mentioned in leg number 1 how professional and how he looks down, and so for him to show even that tells you exactly.
You gotta love it. Yeah, huge, huge. And then the other thing which we haven't mentioned yet is the small note of the Nations Cup, where our Canadian team and our USA team, each time they win a match, they get 1 point, and the first 8 as a team will actually win the Nations Cup for their nation. So the first to reach 8 points, there's a total of 17 points on the line.
15 points on the line.
Sorry, 15 points. You're correct. That's exciting as well. We'll see how that develops over this evening and into tomorrow. So Keith Weiss securing the first point for the Canadians in match 1.
Yeah, technically the Nations Cup can be decided tonight.
Oh, yeah.
However,
the Americans will have something to say about that.
I think they will.
You would hope. Or they would hope.
78. 20 for tops. That's right on the wire, but still in. And there you go. He made that one look a little bit cleaner. Let's go to the last leg decider, buddy.
There we go. Yeah, that's exactly what Jules was hoping for there. So we'll see who can get out of the blocks in this last leg.
The crowd is trying to spur Jules on as they switch down to the 19s there. 88 scored from Dave Cameron. See how Jules does as a response.
So there's a football analogy or a soccer analogy about the home crowd. They call them the 12th man.
Oh, absolutely.
So in football you play with 11, as you know. They call them the 12th man. I think this partisan American crowd might be the darts equivalent of the 12th man for the USA team, perhaps. I think they'll only get louder as the evening and the tournament progresses as well.
I would agree with that completely. There are multiple drinking stations in the venue.
You can stay well hydrated, let's put it that way.
All right. Did you hear the Canadian sorry? There's some Canadian fans in the crowd.
Big darts there from Jules, and he lets us know. Huge ton 40.
Jules going second in the leg, but you'd almost feel like there's an advantage here for Jules just because of the crowd.
He's stolen the darts here.
I'm surprised he went up to start. But that's going to work out for him.
Back-to-back ton 40s in this last leg decider. Like we said, there's gears, and Jules has found a gear in this last leg, but look at this from Cameron.
Oh, that looked like a real good 140. Little pressure. He's getting a trip 20.
He's got
Tops.
a shot.
For the match.
Oh, A little adrenaline rush there from Jules. So 117 for Cameron to take it home. Treble 19. Not going to do it. So Jules Van Dongen's got 3 darts at tops to win this match. Tops, big dart. 13 dart break from Jules Van Dongen to take the match.
And you saw he gave it a little right there. That is for sure. And USA on the board.
Great last leg at darts there from Jules Van Dongen. David Cameron really didn't do that much wrong. Solid 12 darts. Got himself down to an out. Couldn't take out the 117. And that's all she wrote. Jules Van Dongen cleaned it up as he moves on.
Look at
to
that.
the last 8.
I'm telling you, I love this crowd. They are hyped up and having a great time. You see the American flag hats and capes. See the cape there? Saw Richard walk by. I love it. I love it. Beautiful venue.
I love those Apollo Creed hats too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like how you called them Apollo Creed hats.
That's what they remind me of, Rocky.
All right, well, that ends that match. Coming up next after this short break, it's going to be Gary Mawson taking on Jacob Taylor. Who you got?
No comment.
All right.
Welcome back to the 2023 CDC Cross Border Darts Challenge, live from Jersey City.
You want to get into darts, but you're not sure how. We can definitely help with that. We're A to Z darts.com, and we've been a darts specialty store for over 30 years. We have the greatest variety of darts in the country. But don't worry, we can narrow down that selection for you, whether you're a complete beginner or a full-on expert. We developed our own Colonial brand to offer an inexpensive line of darts, dartboards, and accessories, so you can get into the game without breaking the bank. Join our amazing community by going to azdarts.com.
Champion. He's the former UK Open finalist, USA's Mauler, Gary Mawson. Now we welcome to the stage Canada's #2 seed, a former Continental Cup finalist, a winner of 4 CDC Tour titles, The Truth, Jacob Taylor.
Well, welcome back, everybody. I'm Sean Green, your play-by-play commentator for this best-of-7 opening round match of the CDC Cross-Border Darts Challenge, brought to you by the Championship Darts Corporation. And I am joined once again by the great Mark Taggart. Mark, the Mauler, Gary Mawson, is battling The Truth, Jacob Taylor. And in the past, that match has favored heavily Jacob Taylor. He is a perfect 3-0 against Mawson. What does the former UK Open finalist have to do to get his first win against Taylor?
Win 4 legs? No.
Perfect answer, Mark.
Very tough task. Gary is really accomplished when it comes to these big formats. He loves the CDC events. He's won a lot just across the board, but it's an interesting stat. Not totally surprised as far as just the standard that Jacob can play at. I class Jacob as one of the biggest scorers that we've got in North America, as he rattles in a nice 24 to kick us off. But some of the averages that we've seen Jacob Taylor put up in the last 2 years, maybe 2.5 years, have been astronomical. So it's all to do for Gary, but he's more than capable of taking it to Jacob, and we could say another 7 legs, just like your request was earlier.
I'll take them all, man.
For it to keep going.
I actually liked that view that we saw from the back. You saw how far over Jacob stands to the left side of the Aki.
Yeah. I think we've talked about his positioning on the Aki before. It's an interesting one, and like you said, that Aki's relatively wide, so it might take a turn or two for him to figure out just where he needs to be in relation to the corner to find his sweet spot.
Yeah, I can tell you, I actually, up on the stage, walked up to the Aki and pretended to throw a dart earlier as we were setting up, and I started off way too far over from where I normally are, and that's a great point, that it's going to take the players maybe a few throws just to get the right spot on the Aki.
Yeah, it could even just be a tiny bit, centered. You sort of find the center if that's your throw. If you're to the left or the right, with it being a little bit wider, it might take a minute.
They wanted to make sure no one was falling off that Aki tonight.
Oh, the whole setup is fantastic. The team have done an amazing job, and like we've talked about the venue. There it is from Jacob Taylor in leg 1. That's a 180 from the truth.
And I'm going to tell you some truth right now. He can rattle off quite a few of those once he starts hitting them.
Oh, yeah. To have 3-figure averages, lots of 180s, lots of 140s in your arsenal. And like you said, he's capable, once they start going in, of rattling off several, even in this short format.
100.
Taylor is definitely one of the best scorers for sure. You mentioned this as we see him look at 51 here. Double 16, hits it.
Oh.
Bottom corner.
Finds that for a clean kill to open his account.
That's just a good electrician work.
Oh, yeah.
Wired the right side of the double.
Beautiful. Oh, not the wires that Gary was hoping for as he kicks off leg number 2. I like Gary's new shirt. I like his logo, his monogram on the back of his shirt with the GM.
I like that too.
It's very cool. It's become the trend now. Jacob's got one also with the JT on the back of his shirt. It just so happens to look like a dart flight. Very cool. Look at this again from Jacob Taylor.
140.
He has found his range, and I fully expect us to see more of a Jacob Taylor that we're used to seeing. At the Continental Cup, he had a bad showing as the number 2 seed.
Yeah, I was a little shocked. He was one of the folks that I had as a dark horse in the back of my mind for that, and I think he was a little disappointed by the showing there at the Continental Cup. But that might be the impetus that he needs for this tournament to put that right and take home the $5,000 prize that you mentioned.
That's crazy, right?
I love it. It's amazing. Nice way to end your Saturday evening, huh?
Oh, you ain't a wolfin', my friends. Jacob actually, he averaged only 80.76 in the Continental Cup, and that was the spark, actually, for Doug Bain to make his run to the finals. And, of course, Jacob did make the finals of the Continental Cup in 2021, his first year.
Great move there from Jacob.
Two.
Beautiful. He actually looks super in the zone here. He didn't even skip a beat. He threw that first 20, slid across, popped the treble, and then just right down and drilled the out to extend his lead here.
And then right back into the treble.
So like we talked about, Gary Mawson had it all to do, even more so now as we see the difference in the averages.
60.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I'm a little bit worried about Gary right now. It's such a short format, though. He just needs to catch fire for 4 legs.
If he gets the chance. Yep. The problem is a Jacob on his game is a very hard Jacob to peg back.
Well, we just saw a 15-dart break a throw from Jacob Taylor to take the 2-0 lead. And I was actually going to say at the beginning, I decided not to, but I'm going to say it now just 'cause it's wrong. But going first in the match has been not good in the first 2, as they have been broken in the last leg decider, both of them.
It's a good point. It's a good point. It sort of goes back to what we're saying about these best of 7 matches, where the swing is it's quite drastic because there's no real wiggle room, if you will.
I'm going to be honest with you. I did not like the idea of the best of 7 when I first saw the format. I didn't. I was like, oh, man, I want to see so much more of these players play. I love this format now. I love how just sprint, it's like a 100-yard dash. That's all it is, right? They're just running the 100 meters.
Gary tried to get himself the out there. He missed the bullseye attempt. So Jacob's actually got 6 darts from this 138. Doesn't find a treble, so a couple of trebles from Gary Mawson will put pressure on the 78. You'll be looking at least a ton here, if not more. He slid down. No, not going to do it.
Jacoby requires 78.
Ooh, 77 left, so 2 10s.
What a fantastic second dart. Gary's got to hit this.
You would think so, if he's got any hope of staying in this match and winning it. Not going to be.
That first dart was well thrown. Just going to set it up just in case, because Jacob Taylor on 10. We'll see if he splits it or not.
2 5s is never fun. Went straight at it. Good marker. Oh, he slides inside. So a chance for Gary Mawson here.
The American crowd riled up.
There
it is.
That's super important dart there from Gary Mawson. Break a throw too.
Huge. With a capital Y, break a throw.
Huge.
This is the most lively North American crowd, minus Madison Square Garden.
I'm loving it. You just add a little national pride in there, and suddenly the dart fraternity comes to life here in the tri-state.
You add a little national pride and a little Richard.
Oh yeah.
and they are riled up, ready to go. And I think the players like it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Having darts with this atmosphere is what this caliber of players is. That's why they're here. You know, they're playing in the dart halls and playing in those other environments is one thing, but these are big occasions. These are what they're living for, and this is sort of when you get into this top echelon that they're in North America. They want to play in these big events, these big stages, with the crowd and the atmosphere behind them.
Yeah, let's give a huge shout out to the principals of the Championship Darts Corporation for this idea, coming up with this, along with the players. It's been phenomenal.
It's fantastic. I love it. And we mentioned about the Nations Cup as well, which adds just another bit of drama. And we'll continue to bring that up as the points tallies go up for Team Canada and Team USA.
Look at this. Oh. And Jacob Taylor responding great in this leg after the break from Gary. trying to break right back. 105 after 12.
55. Jacoby requires 105.
105.
This is a chance to break back. He's going to get a shot at it, you would think.
And he hits it.
He's pinging that side of the board with those doubles. As Gary heads back for a quick swig of water. And depending on how these first couple of visits go for Jacob, this could be over real fast.
Oh, only 57.
Music to Gary's ears if he can punish that visit.
I don't know if you guys are noticing the sound that you're hearing with the scorer, but our board referee for this match is the one and only Richard Ashdown.
30. Oh, you got it.
Gary just making sure everybody knew that that was 30.
Did you hear Gary try to correct Richard? I love it.
Big ton 40 there from Jacob Taylor. Duly punishes the 30 open from Gary Mawson. In a must-leg win, or must-win leg, should I say. Not what Gary is looking for. Start to see this slipping away a little bit.
100.
Big last dart there to put another dagger in the heart.
The Truth did phenomenally in that last leg to break back the throw and resettle in. That's just professional-wise, that was fantastic.
Yeah, he really, his temperament is amazing, in addition to the fact that he scores for fun. And you saw, you know, in 2 legs there, he had 2 really, really nice finishes.
Well, he has 6 from win 58.
No, not going to put any real pressure on the 158 for Jake.
Look at 78 left. Leaves 24.
Great last start there. So Gary really can only hit as many trebles and hope, and even that part is not gone to plan. So Jacob Taylor to win this one 4-1. 212 slides across. Can he use that? He tried to use it and does so. Great dart there from Jacob Taylor.
Big match from Jacob Taylor. He shows us why he is the Canada number 2 and why he is a favorite in this cross-border darts challenge.
Continues his perfect run against Gary Mawson too.
Yeah, now leads 4-0 in that category. 4-1 lead. You see Richard Ashdown riling up the crowd. Although you see that big old Canadian flag.
All right.
Well, listen, the next match that we have coming up is quite a doozy. You want to talk about 2 of the best pros from their country to ever play. You got Jeff Smith, the silencer, PDC tour card holder, 66th on the Order of Merit in the PDC, taking on a legend. The Eagle is about to land, and of course I'm talking about Larry Butler. So do not go anywhere. 47 years old for Jeff Smith, 65. But age is just a number when it comes to Larry Butler. He might be throwing the best darts he's thrown in a long time, currently. And I cannot wait, buddy.
This is an exciting one.
It's
Larry's looking relaxed up there. Jeff, I saw him. They're both looking relaxed.
It'll be fun.
It will.
Well, don't go anywhere, guys. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more from the Cross-Border Darts Challenge.
Welcome back to the 2023 CDC Cross Border Darts Challenge, live from Jersey City.
So you want to get into darts, but you're not sure how. We can definitely help with that. We're A2ZDarts.com, and we've been a darts specialty store for over 30 years. We have the greatest variety of darts in the country. But don't worry, we can narrow down that selection for you, whether you're a complete beginner or a full-on expert. We developed our own Colonial brand to offer an inexpensive line of darts, dartboards, and accessories, so you can get into the game without breaking the bank. Join our amazing community by going to azdarts.com.
Remind me that I've
Championship winner and World Cup Singles Champion, the Silencer, Jeff Smith. Won his 9th CDC Event Tour title last year, the former Winmar World Masters finalist, the former World Match Play Champion, the Eagle, Larry Butler!
Well, welcome back once again. I'm Sean Green, your play-by-play commentator for this fantastic match of the 2023 CDC Cross-Border Darts Challenge. And I'm honored to welcome back my co-commentator, Mark Taggart. Mark, two former Continental Cup champions are about to do battle on the stage. The 2015 champion, Larry Butler, takes on the 2021 champion, PDC Tour card holder, Jeff Smith. Is there a clear favorite in this one?
If you'd asked me that question maybe 12 months ago, I would have said yes, Jeff Smith. But Larry's had a resurgence. Larry's playing well. This is a short format, which I think actually sort of plays into Larry's hands a little bit. And I don't think so. I don't think there's a clear favorite. If I had to pick one here, if I was really forced, maybe Jeff. But absolutely, Larry's got the pedigree to take this match home for sure. It really just depends, like we've talked about, if who settles first, who can get out of the blocks quickly, if the doubles cooperate. One thing that I know is it won't be any easy task for Jeff just to take this one. He's going to have to work for it.
Well, he did get the start, which usually helps, but look at this. Back-to-back 140s from these players to start us off.
And as if Larry heard me, you hit a ton 40, Jeff. I will follow right up with a ton 40 of my own.
41. All right, let's talk this out real quick. Jeff Smith, I'm looking back at his player championship stats from this year. There's been 10 player championships so far. His checkout turn percentage is a bit low, 28%. So if he's hitting his doubles, he'll be just fine. Apparently that's been a struggle here recently.
Yeah, you won't get lots of opportunities to miss doubles here. We saw Jules get away with it because he had a really good deciding leg in his match. But if you're missing your doubles and giving people opportunities not only to sort of hold their throw easily, but to break you in a race to 4, That's a big uphill battle, so he'll need to make sure that his scoring's on point and he takes his opportunities on the outer ring. He's not going to get away with that type of percentage.
Well, it's not going to matter what storylines we talk about if Larry Butler continues this. Very wide on the second dart.
He's bought himself opportunities here because his scoring's been so good in the first 9. With Jeff way back there on 200.
Yeah, 24 after 12 is...
He's had a great scoring leg. This is a break, a throw. 2 12s for Larry to go 1-0 up.
Double 6 now.
He's
Ooh,
inside.
double 3. Oh, that's tough.
Oh, he was aggressive with that third dart. He knows Jeff could easily take that 1-3-5 out.
Start on the
But
25.
He's going to get a shot
at
of bullseye.
How does he find this dart in there? Just like that.
Exhibition darts from Jeff Smith with a 1-3-5 money shot.
Holds the throw with that 1-3-5 on the bull. And I haven't said it yes, but that one deserves a boom goes the dynamite.
Oh, boy. So Jeff Smith actually played an exhibition yesterday evening. What he wouldn't give, never mind doing an exhibition, but up on this big stage. Steals the leg back from Larry, who was sitting on 3 after such a great scoring leg. And Jeff says, no, sir. No break a throw for you.
Well, we'll call it what it is. It's just a hold a throw, but in this format, even that's big.
Huge, huge. Larry bought himself basically the chance to take that leg. He'd earned himself the opportunity. Didn't. Jeff had 1-3-5 and clinically takes it out in spectacular fashion.
The silencer did not silence the American crowd there because they even were excited at that 1-3-5 finish.
That's a Hollywood shot. Who wouldn't get excited? Especially with it partially blocked because the one sitting in the 25. How he found that left-hand side of the bullseye was just majestic.
And unlike Larry's darts, Jeff's darts have quite a pitch to them too, so that was very well blocked on that bull.
It was beautiful. It was a thing of beauty to see.
As Dan Dawson says, that was an awesome dart.
I love it. So, steady enough leg here from both, but great cover there from Larry to put a dent in the 230, basically halves the deficit. But Jeff could have an opportunity depending on...
It's a good last dart. Smart last dart. You mentioned it last time.
It was good use of the 25 there.
No finish now for Larry, so Jeff's going to get a look at the 77 to break the throw.
Yeah, you see him circling his prey in the background there, Jeff. You knew he was coming back to the line. He's going to get one.
Sorry. Oh, just drags it low. 76. Larry now the opportunity. Tops to tie it back up.
Ooh. I wasn't happy with the grip and reset. 2 10s for Jeff Smith to double his lead. Oh, pins the double 5 and does break the throw and moves into a 2-0 lead for Larry Butler.
And that one definitely hurts because that means Larry now has to break Jeff twice before Jeff reaches 4.
Yeah. The only thing that consolation treble this visit, but Larry needs to score like he did in the first leg if he's going to get an opportunity to break.
We saw this exact same situation in the last match, and it ended up costing Gary Mawson, even though Gary did the job of breaking this throw right here in this leg of his opponent, but didn't help in the long run.
Taylor broke right back and didn't look back after that. Sealed the deal quickly afterwards.
58.
Only 58 there from Larry. So Jeff on 403 trying to drag it down a little bit more.
There's one thing I've noticed about Jeff Smith is when he's feeling it and he's comfortable, he starts to speed up just a touch. Look at this from Larry Butler. Beautiful 174 from the Eagle.
It's a max of a different kind.
Really timely darts there from Larry Butler.
Jeff started on the 19s, unfortunately missed them. So Larry has 6 from 184 to break the throw right back.
He's wrestled the darts away from Jeff in this leg, which he needed to do, like we talked about. But no treble there. So a big visit from Jeff Smith will put a ton of pressure on the 124. He was searching for that second treble. It wasn't to be.
All Jeff needs is an outside shot. He proved that to us in leg number 1. And Larry's going to give it to him. 145.
145, not as easy as the 135. Not going to do it on this occasion. So a must hit, you feel, for Larry Butler here.
Larry require 87.
Should get at least one dart at the out here. He's going to get 2.
Double 18.
Oh, he thought it was in. As he started to move. Oh, no.
And with the way his dart lays, that's not where he wants that dart. They thought he hit it.
Jeff's looking at 2 tops here. Oh, he's double 18. Oh. Interesting.
Is that in the 12? Not a
single
terrible
12.
miss. It's better than the single 9. Double 2. Oh, he miscounted.
Oh, no.
I miscounted is what happened. Larry didn't miscount. He wouldn't do that. I did. Did you know that 18 minus 12 is 6? There's a reason I'm a language arts teacher, buddy.
81.
You're still shocked by that. You were going right along with me the whole time.
Double 3 and double 3 is 12 plus 12. Okay.
The first one, or the first double 3 would drag just below the line.
Okay.
It looked good, though. Larry's sitting on 420.
All that matters is Larry got his first leg on the board. He broke the throw and could consolidate. But Jeff's back in the treble here.
100.
Gets himself a ton. He tends to walk that third dart every once in a while. You notice that?
Yeah, he sometimes he gets a little too quick for himself. Look at this from Larry Butler. Our first 1080 of the match in leg number 4.
The Eagle has set his talons on that triple 20 bed. And look at this.
91.
Jeff, smart darts there. Already thinking ahead to leave our first big fish opportunity of the tournament.
86.
Well, we'll see if he likes to go fishing.
Jeff, you require 170.
We know he likes that bullseye, so.
That's a good start. Oh. You expected to go if that second trip 20
I
goes in,
started
don't
to
you?
hold my breath a little bit. So 110 is super doable for Larry Butler when he needs one treble.
It's needed, though. Double 18. Got it.
Big dart, Larry Butler.
And we are back to even. 2-2 score line. Still needs to break Jeff once, but we are back chalk on the throw.
A break is not a break unless you hold, and Larry Butler holds and levels us up at 2-2.
Those averages could not be much closer either.
Yeah, they're both throwing really steady darts here, and they're hitting clutch finishes at the right time, big scores at the right time. This is a very entertaining match.
Oh, that's great first 2 darts.
Oh, Jeff was looking to fill it up there, just the wrong side of the wire. But he'll take that 1, 2, 3.
He had to have loved the way those first 2 darts were sitting on the treble.
Oh, yeah.
85.
He was just trying to clatter into the 2 that were already in the bed. We were talking about people that throw the dart hard. Jeff Smith throws a very firm dart as well. I love when Jeff is in motion, except for, like you said,
101.
he can sort of get a lot of movement in that third dart sometimes.
If it's in rhythm, it works out for him. But when it's not in rhythm, like that one was right there, he was ready to get off.
It's almost like he caught himself.
Yeah. Well, he leaves the 160. Larry back on 249 is going to put some pressure on it. A lot of
Great
pressure.
cover there from Larry. So you would feel 160, very doable, but not this time.
I like how you just said 160 was very doable.
Very doable.
Larry required 115.
Not going to do it. He's just missing into the neighbors a little bit too often. Good save on dart 3, but now this is very, very doable.
Oh, he's going to get 2 at tops. Go 3-2 up. Great marker for Jeff. Just slides it into the left. Beautiful. And a nice bit of acknowledgement from Larry there. He knows that was a clutch last dart.
Big moment. Can Larry hold his throw to send us to another last leg decider?
59.
It would be our third out of 5 matches.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, second out of 4 matches. Math.
59.
So 2 trebleless visits for each player as we open up the 6th leg here. Trading 59s.
The only 180 we've seen in this match has been from Larry Butler.
42.
This is a chance for Jeff Smith to wrestle the darts away and head for the finish line.
He tried to hit a white horse.
Great round there from Jeff. Punishes the trebleless visit from Larry.
122.
And in true Larry Butler fashion, he says, not just yet.
I will go out on a limb and say there is nothing that Larry Butler has not seen on a dartboard.
I don't think that's out on a limb, my friend. I absolutely would agree.
30.
Of course, the 1994 inaugural champion of the PDC
100.
match play. And we'll see if the former match play champion.
So Jeff's first in out here, and he's got 6 starts to finish this match off and finish Larry Butler off.
The 147 would have been a perfect leg in snooker.
It would have.
Do they call it legs in snooker? I don't know.
Frame.
Frame. Oh, I like that.
But I like where you were going. The fact, nice snooker reference
Thank you. I appreciate that.
for our friends across the pond.
56 left. He's looking at double 18.
They're currently playing their world championship right now.
Hits it. And that'll do it. Jeff Smith, the silencer, silences the eagle.
Yeah, we saw a little comeback, a little glimpse from Larry, but professional job there from Jeff Smith. Gets over the line, not too much dramas.
How about this? We mentioned it early on that the crowd was going to help the Americans out. Well, right now in the Nations Cup, they're down 3-1.
Yeah, that was a good display there from Jeff Smith. Here's another awesome match coming up.
You are not kidding. We have the Ontario most legendary Canadian dart player of all time,
With
Mr.
one
John
of the
Part.
best nicknames as well, may we add, Darth Maple himself, John Part.
And don't forget that walk-on song, because it's one for the ages as well.
And Alex Spellman, our reigning Continental Cup champion, the Jackal.
From Fuquay Varina, North Carolina.
Oh, very nicely done there. This will be a tough ask for John Part, but I'm excited to see how this one plays out.
Stay tuned, guys. We will be back with more from the Cross Border Darts Challenge right after this.
Welcome back to the 2023 CDC Cross Border Darts Challenge, live from Jersey City.
So you want to get into darts, but you're not sure how. We can definitely help with that. We're A2ZDarts.com, and we've been a darts specialty store for over 30 years. We have the greatest variety of darts in the country. But don't worry, we can narrow down that selection for you, whether you're a complete beginner or a full-on expert. We developed our own Colonial brand to offer an inexpensive line of darts, dartboards, and accessories, so you can get into the game without breaking the bank. Join our amazing community by going to azdarts.com.
our next two players here at the Cross Border Darts Challenge. Let's welcome to the stage from Canada, a legend, a former World Match Play, World Grand Prix and a UK Open finalist, a Las Vegas Desert Classic champion. He's the three-time champion of the world, Darth Maple, John Part. And we now introduce USA's number 3 seed, twice a CDC event finalist, a PDC Challenge Tour semi-finalist. He's the reigning Continental Cup champion, the Jackal, Alex Spellman.
Three-time champion of the world, John Part, takes on the current and defending 2022 Continental Cup champion, Alex Spellman. We are live here at the 2023 CDC Cross Border Darts Challenge. I'm Sean Green, your play-by-play commentator, and I am by myself for the brief moment as I am waiting for a special guest in the commentary booth. You just heard him introduce his good friend, John Part, and of course, Alex Spellman. And I am talking about the best spotter in the history of darts, honestly. And I don't think there's too many people that are going to argue that fact.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg, it's Alex to throw first. Game on.
And I am, of course, talking about the legend, Mr. Richard Ashdown. Richard, it is an absolute honor to be sitting next to you in the commentary
shaking
booth.
your hand, Sean. Thank you for that lovely
140.
welcome that I gave you on paper beforehand.
Well, when you write up the stuff for me, you're a good writer, so you made it nice and easy for me.
Well, not so good on the old commentary mic. Am I switched on now?
Oh, you're great.
Good to go.
You are great to go.
And what a great match to join you for.
Yeah, let's talk about this. You just named a whole bunch of accolades for John Part. He's going up against a very tough test here in Alex Spellman, the current and defending Continental Cup champion, who has just done nothing but continued to perform.
It really is a clash of eras, this one, and look at the legend go.
140.
I know how much John's been looking forward to this and very keen to support what the CDC are doing.
Well, he's been supporting since the start.
Yeah.
He's been playing since the start at 2015, 8 years. He's won 2 CDC event titles. Shockingly, Alex Spellman has 0.
I know. I announced him earlier as a twice event finalist, which is surprising in itself, isn't it?
So no circuit wins, but He has the big one.
Yeah, the Continental Cup win, he was coolness personified, wasn't he, in that final against Doug Bame. Came right back, took the title, and now reaping the rewards from it.
Well, no-name Doug Bame became a name. But
indeed,
Alex Spellman, the Jackal, was able to dispose of him at the end. You can see this average right here at 105.25 to start us off. He's at 80 after 12.
Yeah, and that's the start that he would want and probably expect with the way he's been playing. John down to a finish, but Alex on a much more manageable one and gets first crack at it. Just going safe with the big 20s here. Tops it is for leg one.
Just drags it low, and an outside shot here for John Part to steal the first leg and break the throw of Alex Spellman. 1:37 left. You know he's done it before.
Oh, he's done them all, hasn't he?
Exactly. That was an easy statement.
Indeed. But not on this occasion, and it's Alex on the double 10.
And he hits the double 10. Alex Spellman, 16 dart hole to throw here in leg number 1. Gives the bow to the crowd.
Oh, the crowd, a word on them. I mean, I've been out there on the stage, and the atmosphere. We knew when we came in the venue, didn't we, Sean? Even with no one in, it has an ambience, a good feeling. But the audience this evening have done exactly what we hoped and supported this event in its infancy. Hopefully, it continues for many years. But great concept.
We have been mentioning it many times in the booth, just how awesome the audience has been.
Yeah.
And how much we just hope it continues. I mean, they're shouting out at random moments, like a normal event.
Yeah, but they're having fun with it. That's the thing. I mean, we had a couple of isolated voices in games, and you're literally talking about one or two people, but that happens at every darts event. You know, the majority are there for the fun and to support these guys, and I know the players appreciate it as well. The walk-ons have kind of been extended. I mean, we've had a couple of walk-ons that have sort of begun before we've started to announce. So the players have actually just embraced it and enjoyed it, enjoyed hearing their music, and the crowd have responded. John had great fun with the walk-on. And for John now, of course, he enjoys any moment that he steps on the stage because it's not as frequent for him. So I think he genuinely enjoys events like this.
Alex Spellman just wires the second one. I call that bad electrician syndrome. He wired the wrong side of the treble.
Make a note of that one.
Feel free to use it. In fact, if you do, just make sure you send me a message using it, or a recording of that, so that I can have it forever. Richard, you've seen it all.
Yeah.
John Part, when he first started playing, you know, kind of came a little bit out of nowhere.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, we're coming up for now 30 years in January when he won the Lakeside Championship, and the first time I heard his name was just before that at the WDF World Cup. He won the pairs with Carl Mercer in Las Vegas in '93. It was just a name. No one had seen him. He'd never played on television before. Comes to the Lakeside, wins on debut. In 5 matches played at Lakeside, he dropped 1 set.
There's domination and then there's domination.
Yeah, he was never troubled and was absolutely brilliant. And it did take him, he'll admit it himself, it took him a long time after that to live up to it. It took him 4 or 5 years to really settle again. Just a correction on the last score there. Neatly done by Nick, our young referee. But John here, a 1-4-3. Let's see if he can have a bit of magic here. Double 16, we're talking about the legend. Oh, we nearly saw it in 2023.
And you can tell the respect level, right? Because Alex Spellman was rooting for him to hit the 143.
Yeah, well, you want to see a bit of magic. But what about a spell here from Alex?
You've had that one in your back pocket, haven't
72
you?
left. He's got the treble 16 for double 12. Oh. Both of them missing big 3-dart finishes here.
All right, double 8 here for John Part to tie it up 1-1.
And it would be a deserved tie here. John's played well in these opening legs. It would be a bit harsh, I think, if he doesn't seal this one. Double 4.
Bang it right off that dart. And he
Great
does
dart.
so.
And as his colleague on Sky Sports would say, plumage there, left the arm out. Let us all know what he'd just done. John Part wins the leg.
It's like hitting a big 3-pointer in the NBA.
Indeed.
You got to hold it out.
Indeed. But back to the career in general of John Part that we mentioned, you know, that brilliant Lakeside World Championship win in 1994.
When he crossed over to the PDC, it did take him some time to get established, and by the turn of the century, then became a force again, reaching quarterfinals, semi-finals, reached the World Championship final there in 2001, and suddenly people are like, this guy, this wasn't a one-off, this wasn't a fluke.
Yeah.
And by 2003, he was the only man challenging Taylor for big honours on a regular basis. Defeated him, I think, in 4 big major tournaments. It wasn't just once in that final. He did it on a regular basis and became world number 1 himself.
And no one had done that before.
Exactly.
Against Phil. Especially, well, prime Phil.
Exactly.
And
I mean, whatever happens with the number of titles won by any player, I think the fact that John broke that long run of Phil Taylor's World Championships. Here we go, Alex. We're not forgetting about you. There it is.
Half the score leaves 180.
And the call they all love. Look at that audience there. Brilliant stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Signs
waiting
are
for
flying.
that. And
I'm telling you, I'm hoping that it really bleeds through the broadcast just how great this audience has been.
I think it is. And while we're paying tribute to the career of Part, which we of course want to do, it is Alex here at the moment putting on a show for the audience. And of course, they're going to root for the Americans. The results haven't gone their way, have they, though?
I was about to say, what we mentioned earlier is that you would think that with this crowd, the Americans would have such a huge advantage. What I love about the crowd is that they are rooting for everyone's big shots. But it has not panned out for the Americans early on.
No. And there's the 80 again. Let's see if he goes safe again. No, he attacked the treble 20 this time. Well, he did hit the double 10 in the end anyway. But tops this time.
And he just drags it low.
Yeah, so Part with another challenging 3-dart check out here. Needs to be perfect. The treble 20. And then has a decision. Now, will he go for tops or follow the treble? He fancied the treble, and you can see there it hit the other dart. He fancied the line next to it. Unlucky.
I'm wondering if he wasn't debating that exact same thing at that time.
Yeah. I mean, we always try and make a judgment here. You know, we watch the darts go in, but we haven't got the angle the players have got. Yeah. Double 5 here. See, this could lay awkward on top.
And it does, because his darts lay flat.
Yeah.
Although that one's kind of pitched a little bit.
There you go. So again, he had to move to one side. We don't get the exact angle that the player gets, but you can see he had to only aim at a portion of the double. So John on 70 likes the treble 18 for double 8. He's never kind of deviated from being a 16s and 8s man, has he? He's never changed that. Double 16. Oh. Yeah, across all the years, he's never switched that up. It's always been 16s and 8s with John.
And you do what works.
And it's worked. So, single 1, he's got to break this down for double 2. For 2-1. Key moments here in this match. He's found it.
I love how he attacked the first dart on the 10. I think too many players are safe on that first dart.
And just incidentally, that was the double that won John Part of that first world title that we were talking about at Lakeside.
There you go. So you hear the USA chants going on. John drags that first dart just low of the treble. Never mind.
And bringing this all together, when you talk about John Part's career and also what the CDC are doing now, 30 years after John first came on the scene, you can see why he's so keen to support what is being done here, because he didn't have that same kind of platform when he was first at the peak of his powers.
Yep.
And I think he's enjoying what's being brought by the championship darts circuit and everything that's going on with that.
Well, back in 2015, let's call it what it is. He gave us credibility when they started out. John Part on that circuit as a 3-time world champion.
Yeah.
I mean, if he buys in, everyone else will.
Yeah, there are 2 guys I'll call a legend when I'm over in North America. It's Larry Butler and John Part, and it's great that they're both here and both supporting the events. It's important.
Well, the winner of this match, Richard, gets the privilege of playing against Jacob Taylor, who we saw very, very dominant in his first round.
I had a close-up view. I was lucky enough to referee that one, and he played very well. He looked very comfortable, very cut. That's the first time I've refereed for Jacob. I've seen him, but he has a real air of calm on the stage.
Smooth darts, too.
Kind of relaxes but he's the way he plays is just very, it feels laid back. Maybe inside it's not, but it feels calm. It feels easy. That's the way I'd say it.
I can guarantee you that you are spot on there. I think I just lost myself there. I'm just going to keep talking anyway.
They made the board mic bigger. It happens. 100 there from Alex Spellman, but I lost my train of thought. So let's just move on to this one. 180 left for John Part.
This is the beauty of live commentary.
Hey,
proves it's not a pre-record.
It is not a pre-record. I wouldn't have it any other way. I want it to be live. I want my mistakes to be known.
No, it wasn't a mistake. It's just a hearing issue. So John is seeing things straight here, that's for sure. A really good response, again, from falling behind. 80 is what he needs. A single 20. On tops. Clear view. There it is.
80 for John is much easier than 80 for most.
I'm never keen on that phrase, never in doubt, after it's been hit.
Yeah. Well, of course.
But that
Fifth leg, it's Alex to throw first.
That was never in doubt.
It never is. All right. How about this? John Part, on paper, right? On paper, if you're looking at just averages, just at what you should expect here, right? Alex Spellman could have won this 4-0.
Yeah.
91.77 average, which was #1 on tour last year, which again is shocking. Oh, I stopped when I saw it. Which is shocking. They didn't win any titles.
Yeah. It is a case of when rather than if, I think.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Alex has a bright future ahead of him. He's only 34 years old. He's actually a IT professional for Epic Games. So Fortnite, he's in the credits of Fortnite.
Any darts games on the way?
I hope so. I hope so. It's tough to make a good dart video game. Because no matter what you do, the video game is going to make it seem easier than it is. You see Alex starting 306 down to the 19s. Good counting there. Unable to hit it. And now John could have left a finish. 140 here would be nice.
85.
Kissed it off the dart and did not go in. You always remember your bad flights. Spellman looking down. He'll stay there. I don't think it's blocked out.
58.
Only 58. Chance here for John. A big chance to possibly break the throw. We'll get you back.
96.
Got 96 there. Last start dragged
152.
pretty far low, but the 152 is not going to go for Spellman. We've seen the 135 hit already by a Canadian. Jeff Smith took out the 135 in a very awesome fashion, hitting the bull, a blocked bull.
26. John, you require 135.
All right, there's the 25. Trip 20. Would have left a shot at the bull, and I think he would have liked that look at the bull based on how that first start is laying.
70.
Well, maybe not.
Alex, you require 126.
126, going to start down on the 19s. 4 of those will leave the bull. And he does leave the bullseye. Oh, wow. That is a bent wire if I've ever seen one. John might go 25 for tops here. Here we go, tops. The crowd even gave a little moment in there. And a big shot there from Alex Spellman, double 8. Kind of throws his hands up, but he got it done. And we are chalk, but how about this? John Part, the higher average of the two players, and if you would have told me before this match started that was going to be the case, I would have imagined John Part averaging around 100 for that to happen.
134. 100.
All right. The 1-3-4 from John. Great start to the leg. We'll see if we get our third last leg decider in 5 matches. We've had a couple of matches off from the last leg decider. We'd like to get back on that train, especially with these two players. Race to 4 format has been interesting to say the least.
60.
Yeah, I mean, this one has gone to formula with every leg going with the throw. And with averages as they are, you wouldn't expect that, but that's how it's gone. And John will hope that that trend continues, at least in this 6th leg. Then breaking the last.
85.
So explain this to me, because John on 309, who's a great counter of darts, did not shoot at the 19 to start off with.
Well, he figures, I guess, that at some point you're going to have to hit a perfect big treble. Now, what we're seeing more and more on 309 is players going for 19s, knowing the single leaves the 2 treble 20s. If they hit the treble 19, they're bringing the bull into play quite early. It's becoming more and more a thing in setup shots. We may see more as this tournament progresses, where they're using the bull on the 2nd dart rather than the 3rd.
14.
I don't want to call John old school, because he was one of the first players to bring a lot of those 19 shots in. The 265 was commonplace for Park when he first came on the scene. Not many players were doing it then.
Do you think that was an advantage for him early on in his career?
I do, yeah. Yeah, the shots that we see commonplace now, the game is developing, and I'm seeing this as a spotter all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just year by year, new things are still, new trends and new ways are still coming in.
Well, John's going to set this up nicely.
John's gone from being a trendsetter to one of sort of, you almost call him old school now. One thing we do know with John, he just goes for his shots.
Yeah.
You won't see him switching doubles, you won't see him laying up.
And John, another one of those players that is very even-keeled on stage.
Oh, yeah. Temperament's always been a key thing in his career. 84 here, you want to stay calm. Alex back on a big finish. John, treble 20 for double 12. So now he has a choice of the treble 16 or the... He's gone for the treble 16. Now, I said he won't lay up. He has.
52.
He laid up, and I know Alex Spellman.
But this is it's not like going for a big single when you need the bull. I think it's just a numbers game here, literally, because the odds on Spellman taking out a 164. If he does, fair enough, you've got me. But John just played the numbers there. The likelihood of that shot going.
Well, Spellman puts a lot of pressure on this 32 for John.
Yeah, you're far more likely to finish on 84 in 6 if you go this way rather than leaving a 25, and that's what John's thinking. Took him 5 darts.
How about another last leg decider, Richard?
Why not? Let's do it.
Listen, the one thing that I wanted more than anything else was to spend the most time next to you that I possibly could.
I think I was switched off for 2 legs, but I'm with you. I stayed here.
You didn't go anywhere. I could still look at you and talk to you like you were here. Alex, the start is important.
Yeah, and he had to switch off. Yeah, that you mentioned earlier, the lay of that dart just above the treble doesn't suit Alex. John would have loved that sound of Nick calling 60. Needs a treble, though.
He got it. Not enough to take control, but enough to just let Alex know, hey, I'm here.
If you did that every turn, just scored a few more points, you know, in a leg like this.
60.
So again, if John finds one treble, he'll just nudge his way into command here. Not that treble. Must clarify. Big treble. Not that one.
He hit 2 trebles. You said 2 trebles early on. He followed your directions to a T.
Oh, there they are, enjoying themselves.
Oh, last leg decider here. I'm going to ask you before you go, because I thought that this was a really funny moment when it happened. How about that dart? Obviously switching him down and hitting the trip 19. That's a big dart.
Ask me.
Gary Mawson started off the leg with 30.
Yep.
And he tried to correct you.
I think what it was, I think I was too polite in the call.
44.
I said 30. And I don't think he heard me call it. So he was being very patient. He wasn't correcting me.
Yep.
He was telling me that he'd scored 30.
Which
I'd
was
already
nice.
done it.
Yeah.
I'd already done it. Yeah, that was fun. Gary Mawson, I'll just say that. I know we're in the meat of this last leg, but his scoring, he was so unlucky. The amount of darts he had on the wire of the treble 20.
Yeah, we noticed that as well.
And as I say, John's just demonstrating.
Yep.
But we had a lot of that from Gary. He was unfortunate.
60.
Well, John needed more there. That really isn't enough at this stage. So it's there for this 7th leg to go the way of the previous 6 with the man throwing first.
Well, Alex is
4.
laid up a little bit, and
That's
John with a big moment.
Yeah, that's a door unlocked, maybe not even ajar. John needs to absolutely find his best form here with that treble 20. He seems to be taking a bit more time as well, doesn't he? Look at this. Absolute brilliance.
Oh.
At least he's back on he's got back on terms, so to speak. Both on big finishes. The 156 for Spellman.
Not going to go. So John's going to get a look at the 151. And you were right to say brilliant setup play from John. Almost, the 180 would have been so big there.
But that was absolutely brilliant from Spellman as well. All the pressure on the 3-time world champion. Needed the treble 20. But he want to make this last dart count. And again he does. Extra little bit of pressure on this double 8.
For the match. Now it's going to be double 4 for Spellman. And he hits it and takes out the 3-time world champion round number 1. But what a battle that one was.
Thoroughly enjoyed that. Absolutely brilliant. I thought it would be close, but that went right down to the wire.
Yeah, and you see John is playing up to the crowd, which is wonderful.
Alex Spellman.
And how about Alex Spellman moves on, and he gets he'll be playing first tomorrow against Jacob Taylor.
Oh, well, we look forward to that.
I mean, that's the American number 3 against the Canadian number 2, and that's going to be a battle tomorrow. And how about this? Jules Van Dongen gets past David Cameron just to play Jeff Smith tomorrow.
Yeah, the draw has not been kind to Jules, but got over the line there. We saw Spellman getting over the line in this one. And our next match that we're going to enjoy, I'll be introducing the rapid-firing Danny Lauby, taking on the character from Canada, without a doubt, John Norman Jr. Sean, I've thoroughly enjoyed your company in the commentary box.
Richard, it has been an absolute pleasure. Danny Lauby Jr., John Norman Jr., the pace of play from both players, opposites. So we might see a bit of a drag out. Who has the advantage there based on the pace of play?
Well, you always suggest that the advantage is with the slower player, but the form that Danny has shown more recently, maybe it favours Danny. We'll see.
Well, Danny's a Hoosier like me, so I have to secretly root for him, although I won't do that live in the commentary booth. But, guys, stay with us. We'll be back with more from the Cross-Border Darts Challenge, brought to you by the Championship Dart Corporation.
Welcome back to the 2023 CDC Cross-Border Darts Challenge, live from Jersey City.
So you want to get into darts, but you're not sure how. We can definitely help with that. We're A to Z darts.com, and we've been a darts specialty store for over 30 years. We have the greatest variety of darts in the country. But don't worry, we can narrow down that selection for you, whether you're a complete beginner or a full-on expert. We developed our own Colonial brand to offer an inexpensive line of darts, dartboards, and accessories, so you can get into the game without breaking the bank. Join our amazing community by going to azdarts.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Cross-Border Darts Challenge coming to you from White Eagle Hall in Jersey City. We welcome from the USA a 4-time CDC event winner, a Winmore World Masters semi-finalist, the former Continental Cup champion, DL2, Danny Lauby! We bring to the stage Canada's number 3 seed, twice a CDC Tour event winner, a North American Championship finalist. It's Junior John Norman!
Well, hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Sean Green, your play-by-play commentator for this great match of the 2023 Cross-Border Darts Challenge live at the incredible White Eagle Hall in Jersey City, New Jersey. And I'm joined once again by the amazing Mark Taggart. Mark, this battle between the deliberate, we're going to call him deliberate, John Norman Jr. and the lightning fast Danny Lauby Jr. makes for quite a unique difference in pace of play. Who has the advantage?
It's a tough one. Danny, in these races, if he gets off to the races, will be very hard to catch. They were both practicing upstairs, actually, so I had the match off when Richard was in here for the Spellman and Joan Part match. Mm-hmm. And I was watching, just I like to sort of see in the practice room just how people are interacting. And John was actually throwing not as quick, but not as deliberate as we might think. So it was interesting that they were both practicing together.
That is interesting.
And I think maybe for John, he was trying to sort of get an idea of what the rhythm would look like up there. And he's actually, he's not slow by any means.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First
very intriguing to see how this goes, but John's a difficult customer for Danny here, and he's always a handful just with his antics and various things that not great antics.
140.
But he's definitely a character on the Aki as well.
Definitely a character. But what's funny is off the Aki, nicest guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and none of what he does up there is malicious. He's not trying to put people off. It's just passion.
Yep.
He's very passionate, and he's in here.
Competitive and passion.
There's that passion we talked about. He's going to let the fans, he's going to let those American partisan fans know, I'm here. I'm ready to play.
140.
And how about that follow from Danny Lauby after almost getting kicked in the face pretty much by John Norman Jr.
Back-to-back ton 40s from Danny, showing that he won't be phased here. And Treble's taking a pounding already here.
And John staying right in it. Oh.
He looks very focused.
83.
Very focused.
I think when you said that he practiced with Danny and then gave the reasoning why that you gave, brilliant move by John Norman Jr. if that's what he was doing.
Yeah, and maybe there's a couple of boards up there, and the people that are still playing tonight are practicing, but it was interesting that they were both standing behind each other on the line waiting to take their turn versus maybe playing on opposite
95.
boards.
Danny requires
So
81.
who knows?
Well, Danny a chance on an 11 darter. Oh, just wires above the trip 10.
41.
Well,
Slides into
John,
the
you
floor.
require
leaves
143.
tops.
So tricky out here to try and steal this first leg for Norman.
The other Canadian, John, got a shot at the 32. We'll see if John Norman does.
Oh, not quite, just on the wire there. So tops for Lauby to come back.
102. Danny require 40.
Open his account here.
Game shot in
And
the first
there it
leg.
is.
And does
Danny
so at the
Lauby.
first attempt. So a 13
Second
darter
leg is John to throw
from Danny
first.
Lauby. Hold it through.
Game on.
Holds off the storming John Norman Jr. with that ton 80 start.
I love it. I love it. And honestly, for Danny Lauby Jr., power scorer, always has been a power scorer. You saw him go 140, 140, 140 there. His finishing is where he
83.
can struggle from time to time. You saw it at the UK Open this year. He was 1 for 16 on doubles. That's how many double
57.
opportunities he gave himself and only hit one of them. So in this, for him to go one dart at the double and hit it, good sign.
No, it's super important because you don't want to be giving people like John Norman Jr. second chances, and you certainly don't want to be giving them clear-cut chances to break you, like we talked
41.
about with this format being so short. So that's important that he actually makes the scoring count
121.
and then can actually convert that on the outer ring. Big averages already. We're 1.5 legs in.
Yeah, Danny throwing the 13 darter with John on 41 will definitely do that. But that was the other part of the double that he hit is he had pressure on him.
32.
The
Sure
41
did.
left from John was huge pressure after
He-
the big.
He absolutely did.
57.
Nowhere near as many trebles in this leg so far. But he's still got a decent enough cushion.
Against the throw.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see just how far John stands to the left side of the Aki. If you thought Jacob Taylor standed far to the left
41.
of the Aki, John Norman Jr. takes that to an extreme. And he can move around the Aki just fine. He just likes that spot starting off.
Yeah,
60.
the boards upstairs are relatively close together, and he was standing so far to the left that I thought he was throwing on the left-hand board, but he was throwing on the right-hand board. That's how far over he was in the practice area.
Well, maybe that's why he was throwing with Danny Lauby Jr. because Danny was playing on that board and John could not possibly throw on the other boards. So here we go, 206 for the Hoosier from Terre Haute, Indiana.
So this is a very pedestrian leg by these gentlemen's standards. Danny down to a finish there after 15. He'll get a bite at the 106. We'll see what Norman Jr. can do to pressurize.
That'll work.
140. Danny require 106.
Nice two treble visit there from John Norman Jr.
86 left. And that's not going to do it.
74.
Leaves 32.
John, you require 64.
Will John get one dart or two at the double? This first dart's what matters. It's going to be two.
Going to get two at it to level us up.
Game
And
shot in
does
the
so.
second leg. John
Really
Norman
nice
Jr.
2-dart out there
Third
from
leg is Danny to
John
throw
Norman
first.
Jr.
Game on.
And you see the averages drop down a little bit. That might be the worst leg we're going to see out of both players, but maybe not.
42.
After that start from Danny.
Yeah, who knows?
I think
This plays into John Norman Jr.'s hands, though, because it's already started to slow down a touch. You know, Danny's not finding the treble as regular as he did in that first leg. Neither is John Norman Jr., to be fair, but we talked about pace, we talked about rhythm, and if it does get a little bit slower, it doesn't really suit Danny.
60.
From time to time, Danny is fine moving around the dartboard, but from time to time, I don't think he moves around enough.
He does. Sometimes he gets stubborn, and that looked like a blocker to your point, that first start.
Mm-hmm.
He did throw both of them over the top, but to try and find the treble there, it really is it's a challenge, where he has a clear bed down at the 19s, or even the 18s if he wants to stay up in that eye line.
That's a great marker for him on the first start, but
60.
only gets 60 out of it. And again, you're seeing a leg where I don't think we've seen a treble yet. Maybe once. We saw one from John.
Yeah. To score 110 in 6 starts from Norman Jr. and 162 in 9 darts from Danny Lauby. Look at this, though.
140.
Big
Nice
140.
40. I was waiting for an explosion.
I was going to say, I don't think Danny learned his lesson from the last time because he was already stepping into the
60.
exclusion zone without even knowing if John Norman Jr. was going to give a little at that one. I joked during the players' brief because our CEO, Peter Cetera, was talking to the players about, it's okay on stage to give a little extra. And I joked that that's just music to John Norman's ears.
It's just another Friday night at the darts for our friend, especially if he's hitting big outs or big numbers.
Yeah,
99.
I know there's a lot of people that see what he does on stage as a bad thing, and I absolutely am the opposite of that. I think because it's not malicious at any point in time and it is just passion, there's a difference there, right? Even when he turned around directly looking behind him, technically
90.
at Danny, but he's not actually saying that to Danny. He's trying to look at the crowd behind him.
Smart last start there from John Norman Jr. to square that off.
100.
So he's
John,
actually
you
got
require 100.
a very doable ton.
To break the throw.
Definitely the pace is slowed down. We're going to get our first double-double attempt of the tournament here. Apart from Larry's, I guess, with the 2 almost double threes.
60.
It's true.
Danny require 80.
I really did think that first double 3 was in.
It's gonna get. Oh no! What a horrible break there.
40.
But to be fair,
John, you require 40.
he shouldn't even get close to that dart.
Yeah, he should have been up where that third dart was, in all honesty. That's where the second one should have been. Stay well away from the flight. Tough break. But this is a big chance for John Norman Jr. It's a good marker for him. Use the barrel. And does so that beautiful dart. That's a textbook usage of a marker there from John Norman Jr.
John to throw first.
And he'll just take his time. He'll just remind Danny that I'm the boss. That was a break.
Game on.
It's my throw. A little drink of water.
And you're seeing it with both their jerseys too. You mentioned it earlier about the logos that players are starting to get.
Oh yeah, I really like Danny's. I really like what they've done there with his.
So right now, what it's looking like is John is slowing down on purpose. What I can tell you is that he is not thinking about that one bit.
85.
Yeah, I would agree. Obviously, the drink of water and the standing back at the line and just waiting those couple.
140.
That part, obviously, is on purpose because he can take his time to set himself.
Mm-hmm.
But at the line, this is just him, focused. He's playing to a rhythm that he's comfortable with.
And it's honestly the rhythm that we expected at the get-go.
In all honesty, yeah.
100.
Big last start there. Finds the top corner of the treble 20.
And
40.
Danny went 140, 140, 140 in leg number 1 and has only hit 140 after that. And that was to start off this leg, but you see a slack round there again.
Will he stay there?
He does.
I think he's still going to stay there. He likes to lie.
60.
Tried to use that marker just like he did in the tops. Force it in.
A 180 would have left the finish there. 100 will do, but
I'm not sure there's a better sight in darts, though, here in North America than a flowing Danny Lauby. When that first dart is on point, it's a thing of beauty to watch. And more often than not, other darts follow into that treble bed. Oh. He's staying, moving right across the hockey to find that treble 20.
Oh, and drags it in. And
I don't know if that was ill-advised, especially with the wide open beds again, treble 19, treble 18 at his disposal.
And he could not leave a finish with the dart anyway, so
Great
to your point, it really, he was not forced to go at the 20 there.
Totally agree. So treble his visit. This is a big opportunity for Norman to extend his lead if he can take a large chunk out of this 221, and will do so.
123. Danny required
Stayed up there, slid into the treble 1.
Did you see that? Danny knew the dart was low.
58. Johnny required
before
98.
the dart hit the dartboard. He gave a reaction, and that's crazy because his time for that dart to get to the dartboard is milliseconds.
Yeah.
With how hard he throws.
That's how much he knows his own throw. 78. Oof. Just has to set it up. See what Danny can do with this 106.
Danny required 106.
That's a slack visit there from Joel Norman Jr.
This is Danny's second look at this 106.
86.
And again, not going to get a look at the finish.
Right on the wire, that treble 18.
And I think he's getting frustrated with his possibly lack of focus a little bit for Danny, because that third dart he threw fast and hits a 5, and he immediately is upset with himself. But here we go, 32. John Norman Jr.
42 for 32 to clean up the 74.
Big moment.
Hits shot in the fourth leg.
Big dart
John
there.
Norman Jr. Fifth
Big
leg
dart.
is Danny to throw first.
Up 3-1.
Game on.
Consolidates his break, holds his throw, opens up a 2-leg lead, and is 1 away from knocking
100.
out someone that would have been heavily favored in this tournament.
Yeah.
These short formats, like we talked about with Danny, someone that if they can get out of the blocks quickly, very hard to catch.
And to be fair, he got out of the blocks quickly.
He did.
But they have slowed down rapidly from that point.
The trebles have eluded him by his standards
100.
in the preceding legs. And John Norman Jr.'s taken full advantage of it.
100.
Another stubborn dart there, but he found a way to get his treble.
It's like as soon as we say, oh, he shouldn't do that anymore, it pays off for him. So still got a lot of work left to do. He only has to break the throw once, though, of Norman. Says a lot about the position that he's still in.
He said he's in a tough spot right now.
Yep.
Between the rhythm behind the momentum, and he just doesn't look comfortable, and things aren't sort of going to plan.
140.
Needs lots more of that.
Yes.
If he's looking to make a comeback and do what Keith Way did way back in match number 1.
And he's starting to throw the dart a little bit firmer, too. I know his father, Cujo, another great North American dart player, taught him how to play the game and said,
95.
throw through the dartboard.
Danny required 161.
Danny's trying to throw the dart a little bit firm.
Danny's got a beautiful follow through as well, to your point.
99.
It's poetry in motion when it's rapidly going.
He's got a chance here.
Oh, absolutely.
He needs to hold just to give himself an opportunity at the break. But 62, depending on what Joe Norman does with these 2 darts, he might even get 6 darts at 62.
100.
All right.
Danny
Great
requires
last.
62.
Keeping him honest. All right. Single 16. Tops.
42.
Drags it right
John,
in.
you require 108.
Well, if John Norman hits this 108, he wins the match, obviously. If not, Danny has his favorite double when he returns.
This is a chance for John Norman to close it out here now. If he can find a treble, give himself at least a shot at it. And he's going to.
He stays straight. Ooh.
No score.
Oh, my
Danny
word.
required 20.
Famous last words for me.
Does a little bit too much, and he stayed straight, so I guess we were both wrong.
Wow, is that the opportunity that Danny's been looking for?
He's got to hit it.
Double 5.
15.
It's not there.
John, you require 108.
So the only consolation for Danny is that John Norman's back on 108. Has to find that treble again. But only one this time.
Well, there's one.
Let's see if he learns his lesson. Miles away. Here we go. One dart to win the match. John Norman Jr. And
he
does so.
And the match, John Norman Jr.
I love it. I absolutely love it, man. And, yeah, he's going to hug. Yeah, he's a hugger. If he would have lost the match, he would,
Same thing.
Yeah, there's times where he's going to hug as well. But well done there from John Norman Jr.
Yep. A wry smile from Danny. He knows.
Give a big round of applause for Danny Lauby.
It wasn't quite to be. Never really got going after that first leg.
Round of applause. Moving on to the quarterfinals, John Norman
Congratulations,
Jr.
John Norman Jr. And our Canadian friends get another point in the race for the Nations Cup, making that 4-2 in our match number 6.
Did you just jinx the Americans in the last 2 matches?
Oh
Possibly.
boy. Who knows?
Well, coming up next, we got Chucky Pipes.
Oh
Chuck
boy.
Puleo taking on the gentleman, Mr. Jim Long, and that's going to be quite the affair. It's actually a rematch of the last 16 match of the 2022 Continental Cup, which Jim won 5-3.
Jim Long played phenomenal in that match. I remember had the pleasure of sitting in and commentating on it. Both players upstairs in the players' lounge, chatting away. Really good friends. Both DJD associates.
Yep.
And have played each other a lot over the years in the Continental Cup. Or sorry, the CDC tour.
Yeah, they're 2-2 against each other. So we will see who's going to break that tie next. Stay with us. We'll be back with more from the Cross-Border Darts Challenge, brought to you by the Championship Dart Circuit, after this break.
Welcome back to the 2023 CDC Cross-Border Darts Challenge, live from Jersey City.
So you want to get into darts, but you're not sure how. We can definitely help with that. We're A2ZDarts.com, and we've been a dart specialty store for over 30 years. We have the greatest variety of darts in the country. But don't worry, we can narrow down that selection for you, whether you're a complete beginner or a full-on expert. We developed our own Colonial brand to offer an inexpensive line of darts, dartboards, and accessories, so you can get into the game without breaking the bank. Join our amazing community by going to azdarts.com.
Of the evening here at the Cross Border Darts Challenge. Let's welcome to the stage, first of all, a man who's won 5 CDC event titles, 3 times a World Cup of Darts competitor for the US of A. Pipes, Chuck Puleo!
Go.
And we now bring to the stage a 3-time CDC Tour event winner and a World Cup of Darts quarter-finalist for Canada, gentleman Jim Long.
Well, as those twos cheers, we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Jersey City, New Jersey for the 2023 CDC Cross Border Darts Challenge. I'm Sean Green, your play-by-play commentator, and I am joined by my partner in crime this weekend, Mr. Mark Taggart. Mark, we have 5-time CDC event winner Chuck Puleo taking on the gentleman from London, Ontario, Jim Long. Mark, I said your name twice. This is a rematch from the 2022 Continental Cup in which Long defeated Puleo 5-3 with a 97.5 average. Does history repeat itself here in New Jersey for 2 of the nicest dart players in this room?
Yeah, well, first of all, let's give a shout out for Chuck Puleo's walk-on. We had a couple of dancing Irish in the crowd. The crowd have been so up for this evening. They've really had a good time. But to answer your question, quite possibly. Chuck's had a bit of a resurgence. That match we had the pleasure of commentating on during the Continental Cup, and Jim played really, really well in that match. I remember remarking on it even afterwards. But they played each other a lot.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Lots of battles. They're good friends off the hockey. And it'll be an interesting and intriguing match to see who can get out and impose themselves early here.
Well, Chuck, to give you guys a little background on his experience so far in the Cross Border Challenge, his flight was canceled yesterday. He got a flight and flew in today, landing at 4 p.m. at Newark, and then drove over. So luckily he's playing a late match at 10:60, so he was able to kind of settle in. But he is used to kind of staying even-keeled, doing his thing, and I'm sure that threw a little wrench into those plans yesterday.
Yeah, I got a chance to say hi upstairs again in the players' room.
84.
I said, how you doing? He just smiled. He said, I'm here. It's all good. And went back about his business and was just practicing. Both him and Jim were just chatting away. So I don't think he's phased too
26.
much. Travel is part of the gauntlet that these players run these days with so many tournaments and moving around. But at least he gave himself enough time to warm up.
83.
And, like you said, a little bit later in the evening, so he had that bit of a buffer.
I am sure, I have not talked to both these guys, but I'm sure that they were not super thrilled when they saw
59.
the draw come out, where they had to play each other in the first round as friends and teammates on Team DJD. And you can even see the DJD, he even has team on it.
The logo, yeah.
Yeah, on his logo.
85.
These guys are a big team. Whereas most sponsors and whatever, they, you do your thing. For DJD, they play with each other. They are in group chats together.
There's a real sense of camaraderie with that group. And we have to give David Garfinkel and that team a lot of credit for fostering that camaraderie, and you see it. But to your point as well about that, they probably went, no, not again. Like
87.
Very, very slow leg from Jim Long here, though. Sitting on 261 after 12, with Chuck Puleo on a more impactful 62 after 15.
I will say it's always okay to have a slack
85.
leg against the throw.
Chucky requires 62.
When it's your throw, though, you've got to do your business.
Oh, yeah.
And especially in this format, race to 4.
Well, you don't get the luxury of too many slack legs here, because before you know
30.
it'll be over. So still not on and out here, Jim Long. So good news for Chuck that he'll be back to see if he can polish off that 32.
Yeah, Puleo will be back with the 32. And
11.
Let's just call it what it is. Gentleman's
32.
having himself an off leg.
Still not on and out with that 11.
Game shot on the first leg.
Chuck puts him out of his misery.
Second leg, Jim to throw first. Game on.
It was a 19 darter, but it doesn't matter because it got the job accomplished. And
that's a shake it off, go back to work, hold your
60.
throw, and it's still 1-1.
If you remember, in the second round of the Continental Cup last year, Jim Long had the unfortunate moment of playing Doug Bain when Doug averaged 106.
45.
Oh, yeah. I remember. And I'm sure Jim has nightmares about it.
Yes. Yeah, and actually, I'm just throwing out fun facts tonight. They were actually number 1 and 2 in average.
27.
Overall.
Yeah, that was another phenomenal match. And what we saw from Jim, Doug then surpassed that the next round.
Yes.
Not going well here so
140
far for Jim, as Chuck bangs in a ton 40.
A little bit better out of Jim.
140
matches.
It's more like the Jim Long we know. Answers the ton 40 with one of his own. Slid into the treble 540, and he stayed there.
That was a good grouping. That's what I would say when I do something like that. Jim Long from London, Ontario.
81.
Chuck Puleo has himself still a pretty heavy Boston accent, even though he has lived in Mesa, Arizona.
He's the man with the Boston accent and the Arizona town.
I love it.
100.
They call him Chucky Pipes, and I don't think you guys need to have too many guesses to know why.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. You got the gun show for free.
139.
Smart switch there from Jim Long to set it up after he knocked in those 2 treble 20s. 54 when he returns.
Yeah, definitely a much better leg from Jim.
100.
Chance at a 17.
Jimmy require 54.
And again, you hear the voice of Richard Ashdown getting to do some refereeing this evening.
2 10s.
34.
Not to be, so a chance for Chuck.
Chucky requires 76.
Is he going to punish his friend right here for that miss? He should. Oh. You just try to go double-double right off the gate?
It stays there, obviously.
37. Jimmy required 20.
That was an interesting way to go about 76, but Can Jim take advantage of the miss? He does
Game
so.
shot on the
Really
second
good
leg.
dart there in
Jim
the
Long.
always
Third
tricky
leg,
double
Chuck
five.
to throw first. Game on.
That'll give Jim a lot of relief to pin that and not allow Chuck to come back to the board.
100.
All right, so let's mention it. The averages have not been what we've expected out of majority of the players tonight, to be quite fair. There's been some 80s, some high 70s matches, battles.
140.
What do you think attributes to that?
So part of the format as well. So when you have off legs and maybe you struggle with doubles and like you saw in clumps, it's hard to recover up to the point
81.
where you're up in the sort of high 80s, low 90s. Also maybe just getting used to this stage and the surroundings could be a factor. And then just the occasion itself.
140.
You know, these players are playing each other on the circuit a lot now. You know, we've got the elite from Canada and the elite from the USA here. So they know there's quite a lot on the line, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Multiple factors.
And it's national pride, too. On top of the individual prize, there's a national prize on top of that where the players are representing their country.
27.
And
Absolutely.
that's a special moment. That's a special part of it.
For sure.
Love this idea. Love this format. The fans have been incredible this evening.
100.
It's really good to see everyone having such a good time. You know, they're being fans of the darts, but also getting involved in creating an atmosphere. It's really good to see. This will create an atmosphere. Oh, he's switching again.
134.
Yeah, smart dart.
Another smart play. Teasing us with another potential 180, but not to be. Still a chance.
Oh, needed the trouble there to do it.
All
60.
right. So Jim Long.
Jimmy requires
Opportunity. It's 60 to break the throw with his good friend Chuck Puleo.
Game shot on the third leg.
How about a 14
Jim
dart
Long.
breaker throw from Jim Long? These guys are starting to heat up
Fourth
now,
leg,
huh?
Jim to throw first.
Yeah, that was
Game on.
that was a little tap on the shoulder for Chuck saying, I'm taking that one, my friend. Good leg of darts from Jim. And if he can hold here, this is gone. This whole match is sort of turned on its head after a really lackluster first leg from Jim Long.
Yeah, Jim was averaging 56 after leg number 1.
It was low.
Chuck fills it up.
180.
So we get the brilliant call there from Richard. Chuck
83.
Chuck would have been one of those players in the brief today that would have been like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
It's all right. Richard did it for him. It's all good.
Sure did.
Great darts, though. Great timing.
100.
He really wants to try and break back here and keep this match even keel.
Yeah, that timing was perfect to throw that 180 there to start off this leg.
Yeah, he's already put tons of pressure on the throw of Jim
95.
Jim Long here.
It's about this point where you're no longer playing your friend. You're playing an opponent that you are just trying to whoop on the dartboard. And really anything goes.
Yeah, there's no friendship in competitive darts once you get up on that stage.
And that first start from Jim, not ideal. That's a
great adjustment, though.
81.
Right.
Chuck, you require 141.
So huge chance for Chuck Puleo.
Oh, trip 19. Oh, that would have been an interesting 12 darter, right? Because
99.
they start off 180.
Jimmy require 142.
6 darts to get to the 141, and then go taking it out. 12 darter with 2 of the 9 dart formats in it. He's looking down the 17s. I like this move.
He's hit the treble 2, I believe.
Yeah, unfortunately.
126.
Wow. Great recovery
Chuck, you
darts.
require 42.
So there's pressure on this 42 now. Tops to level us up. Ooh, bit of a flyer. Can he adjust?
He
Game
does.
shot on the 4th leg. Chuck Puleo.
Great dart there from Chuck.
Breaks it right back, and we are back on throw.
Composes himself.
5th leg, Chuck to throw first.
I don't think he realized it
Game
was
on.
his throw there. He's like, oh, it's me.
Every once in a while, you just get into tunnel vision where it's just a dartboard, and the person just get out of your way so you can throw your 3 darts.
95.
Exactly right. Once you're in the zone like that, that was a really good cleanup from Chuck to win that leg.
I would say that
100.
I don't know if I would be able to focus fully with the crowd behind me like this. That being said, there's no problem with that for these guys.
Yeah, it's that old question whether silence
100.
and then the odd sound is more distracting than the sort of the constant din in the atmosphere. And I think nearly everyone I talk to would prefer the atmosphere.
Well, it has been pro-American. However, we have seen some Canadian fans in the crowd for sure. And and no pressure here, Chuck and Soldier, in the next match, but if you both
100
win, then it's 4-4 going into tomorrow.
In our Nations Cup.
Yeah.
100.
I love it. They're singing.
The walk-on song of the one and only Tony O'Shea.
You see, Jim's actually back there conducting that bad boy.
100.
As a dart player, right, and a dart fan, like how cool is it a moment to have people behind you singing that song as you're playing darts on stage? You can't beat it, man.
Yeah, this is like we talked about. These are the moments and the types
59.
of tournaments that these
Chuck,
players
you
are working so hard
106.
to be involved in. You got to make the most of each moment, including the fans, the atmosphere.
Tops for the 106 checkout.
66.
Outside shot
Jim,
here
you
for Jim.
require 158.
This would hurt Chuck if Jim could break right back.
The second highest non-bullseye checkout.
Not to be.
158 is always an awkward one, too, with the double 19.
52.
But Chuck tops.
Chuck, you require 40.
Take a 3-2 lead. You see these averages have
Game shot on the
risen.
5th leg.
Yeah.
Chuck Puleo. 6th leg, Jim.
Since Chuck got broken,
Game on.
he's really turned it on these last 2 legs and very composed, very measured. He's given the USA fans something to cheer about.
I love it.
64.
I'm pretty sure I can hear Colin's voice out there as part of the chants.
No comment.
100.
Great last start there from Chuck. Sort of punishes the trebleless visit from Jim. Start this must-leg win. Must-leg win? That's the second time I've said that.
Must-leg win?
Win leg.
100.
You know what? You're right. You can't argue with it, right? Sometimes there's just facts being spit. If he doesn't win this leg, it's over.
45.
It's a word jumble. You just got to figure out what order they go in.
All right. The gentleman trying to find a big treble.
He's struggling a little bit
27.
here, Jim. He hasn't been finding the treble anywhere near as regular as he was at the start. He's feeling the heat.
Another treble will make him feel it a little bit
85.
more. Instead, it opens up the door a little bit.
Feeling the heat coming down the pipes.
See if we get a little steam.
Lots of slack darts here. Slides into the 1, slides
25.
into the 5. Another treble-less visit.
Jim's visiting the neighbors a little bit too often.
Yeah, he's outstaying his welcome in those treble beds.
95.
Chuck's just going about his business, stolen the darts, giving himself a 100-point cushion against throw.
100.
And is going to get 6 darts to close this match out. And is going to need all 6 of them.
Needs a treble.
45.
Did not get the big treble.
So that's music to Jim Long's ears. He needs a big visit here, take a chunk out of the 185.
Especially with how difficult 131 is.
Exactly.
100.
So great last start there
Chuck, you
from
require
Jim.
131.
Makes this 131 that much harder.
Trip 17 does not go. He would have gone trip 17 tops there, I believe.
That's in.
123.
Big darts.
Jim, you require 85.
I was happy to leave 8. Must go from Jim Long here to stay alive.
He might only get 1 dart at the bull. It is going to be at the bull. Bullseye. Hits it.
Game shot on the 6th
Right
leg.
on the button.
Jim Long.
Clutch dart from Jim Long.
7th leg.
Gets
Chuck
an
to
acknowledgement
throw
from his
first.
friend.
Game on.
Takes us to a last leg decider. Great dart there from Jim Long. Hopefully that'll give him some confidence going into
60.
the last leg. And a treble-less open from Chuck Puleo.
Well, now's the time for Jim.
The door's open. He just has to push it and walk right through.
85.
Bit of a flyer on dart 3.
Decides to not do any of that.
This is our 4th last leg decider of the evening.
140.
Have I mentioned to you how much I love the format?
I think so. Good 140 there from Chuck Puleo. We'll see what Jim's response can be.
It's going to be great.
140.
Just like that. Like we were in leg 1 all over again.
And they're both starting to throw well.
Did someone say finish line?
99.
The switch there, if you would have hit the trip 19, would have left 164.
See if he stays there. Great second dart.
Leaves a finish.
140.
Really good darts here from Jim Long. First day of finish here.
Chuck looking down. Now looking back up. Hits it.
40.
Oh, no.
Jim, you require
Wow.
136.
He's left himself a bogey. And now Jim's got 6 from 136.
Might not need him. Gonna need at least 4 of them.
96.
Leaves tops after 15. No, after 12.
After
Sorry. And it looks like 3 out of the 4 last leg deciders.
85.
Chuck decided to stay
Jimmy
there and
require
slides into the
40.
5. But this is it. This is to win the match. And
To guarantee Canada a lead in the Nations Cup.
that's a great marker for Jim. Oh, he's double 10 to win. And it's there.
Shots. And the match.
Big
Jim
dart.
Long.
Big
Wow.
dart.
The gentleman gets it done, defeating Chuck Puleo.
Wow, what a great match. That went back
Well,
and
ladies
forth.
and gentlemen, keep the applause going for
Two
both
great
players
players.
as they leave the stage. Chuck Puleo. And going through to tomorrow evening's quarterfinals, Canada's gentleman, Jim Long.
So Jim will take on Keith Way. So one of the 2 of them will be in the semifinals. We do.
That's 2 Canadians.
Yep, and we do have Jake Taylor taking on Alex Spellman at the bottom of that. So the winner of that one will take on the winner of Keith Way.
Oh, and the's the
So
small
there
matter
we
of
have it.
Jules
It's
versus
all
Jeff
over.
Smith.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. One more match to go
Yeah, and then
this evening.
John Norman Jr. is waiting on the winner of match number 8.
Yes, it's me.
Our last match of the evening.
Who's coming back tomorrow?
How about Leonard Gates taking on Steve Warnock?
Well, you
Yeah,
better be, because
I'm
the
excited.
atmosphere has been absolutely terrific here this evening.
Well,
and we're going to treat you to
Stay
one
tuned, because
more
we will be
match.
right back
It's going to be a
with
great one.
our last
Gonna
match of
have
the
fun
evening.
with the walk-ons. That's a
Leonard
lovely
Gates,
score out there.
Steve
sir.
Warnock, right after
Lovely
this break.
score.
Stay with us.
Yeah, one more match to come. A brilliant one at that. To complete our quarter-final lineup. We'll be back soon. Thank you.
Welcome back to the 2023 CDC Cross Border Darts Challenge, live from Jersey City.
So you want to get into darts, but you're not sure how. We can definitely help with that. We're A2ZDarts.com, and we've been a darts specialty store for over 30 years. We have the greatest variety of darts in the country. But don't worry, we can narrow down that selection for you, whether you're a complete beginner or a full-on expert. We developed our own Colonial brand to offer an inexpensive line of darts, dartboards, and accessories, so you can get into the game without breaking the bank. Join our amazing community by going to azdarts.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to complete the quarter-final lineup here at the Cross-Border Darts Challenge at the White Eagle Hall, Jersey City. Let's welcome to the stage the man from Canada, a CDC tournament semi-finalist last year. He's the sniper, Steve Warnock. Let's now bring to the stage our number 2 seed from the USA, a former Continental Cup champion. He's the reigning North American Championship and World Seniors Champion of Champions, Soldier Leonard Cates.
Well, hello once again. I'm Sean Green, your play-by-play commentator for this last match, sorry for yelling at you, of the first round of the 2023 Cross-Border Darts Challenge, brought to you by the Championship Darts Corporation, live at Eagle Hall in Jersey City, New Jersey. And I'm excited to introduce my co-commentator for this match, as I tend to be talking over myself, Mark Taggart. Mark, Soldier's going to be Soldier. And Soldier's been on fire recently, bud.
Soldier just showed us how comfortable he is in these occasions. We saw it in Madison Square Garden. We saw it over in the UK just a couple of weeks ago. He'll be back there again in the the seniors that David Cameron will be defending that we talked about. And he is probably the hottest property in
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
steel tip darts right now here in North America.
Game on.
So I know I don't know if you follow a lot of soft tip, but he's also the best soft tip player in North America. And that's the crazy part about Leonard Gates, is that
60.
Currently he is 1 or 2 in soft tip, and he's definitely been 1 or 2 in steel over the last few months at least. It's really been cool to see from Leonard.
99.
And he's done it with hard work. He has talent. We know he has talent. But the biggest knock against Leonard Gates over the past couple years has been what?
It's counting.
And he has
79.
improved in that so greatly over the past 6 months. I would say that while the math still isn't there, the patterns now are. So he at least knows
60.
to shoot what shot at the right time, if that makes sense. Now, when he misses, it becomes an issue again. But if he utilizes the chalker, the board
100.
referee, and asks them what he has left, he tends to be just fine in this format. And you saw it pay off a couple weeks ago at the Champion of Champions.
Yeah, I would
140.
I would say you're partially right there, and we've seen improvement. It's when he's under pressure, he falls back into his sort of
41.
old habits, and then just relies on big numbers to try and get himself out of trouble rather than counting in board management. But it's very, very
140.
minimal in comparison to what it used to be, for sure. But his scoring, like we talked about, is up there with the best of them, and it can get him out of trouble. It can actually buy him an
83.
extra visit
Leonard, you require
to the board
62.
to fix some of those miscounts. But they're becoming fewer and fewer, which is dangerous for the rest of this
46.
tournament and anything he competes
Steve,
in
you require
all honesty, for those
138.
opponents.
Well, we'll see if Steve can steal this first leg. 138 left. That's a great start. That's a great start.
114.
My
Leonard, you require
goodness,
16.
he almost stole that one.
That would have been a absolute party piece from Steve Warnock. He just couldn't pull the trigger on the double.
8 scored.
But a chance.
Steve, you require 24.
The sniper looking to snipe 24 here from Leonard Gates, and that is a big
Oh,
5.
wow.
Huge, massive miss for someone of the talent of Steve Warnock.
Yeah, I don't know if the
20.
moment got to him there a little bit,
Leonard, you
but that
require 8.
came out of the hand really quick. And a reprieve
Game shot
for
in the first
Gates,
leg. Leonard Gates.
who actually just broke
Second
the
leg,
throw.
Leonard to throw first.
That's not how you want to start,
Game on.
by gifting Gates a second opportunity to break you in the opening leg.
And you alluded to this earlier, his scoring power is so heavy.
100.
I mean,
He's another one that when that first treble goes in, you're actually shocked that at least one more doesn't follow, because they usually go in. It's such a nice angle that it's so inviting.
41.
so these two players have played against each other in the CDC 4 times.
57.
Leonard 4, Steve 0. So while no one in the field really wanted to take on Leonard Gates in the first round, I would say that Steve Warnock probably didn't want to take him on even more.
135.
Would you agree with that?
Probably, yeah. If you know you've got a player that's just tough to get over the line against. No easy draws like we always talk about, but
96.
Leonard right now, not sure there's any Canadian would have been raising their hand to say, okay, I'll play Leonard first round.
No, he's dancing his way into the hearts of darts fans, and
22.
he has made a very big name for himself going into the Seniors Masters that he's going to be playing in. I'm pretty sure he's going to be the favorite as soon as he walks into that door.
134.
Yeah, so David Cameron, I think, #1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've got Leonard #3 seed, which I think it's a testament for North American darts right there.
133.
But to your
Leonard, you
point,
require
based on what he
114.
did in the UK there just a couple of weeks back, he's put that circuit on notice. You know, do not
68.
take anyone that's
Steve, you
competing now
require
from North America
170.
lightly in the seniors tour.
Well,
And
it's
he'll
a big-
fancy his chances to go over there and win that whole thing as well.
134.
But there's
Great
the
start.
small deal of Stephen Warnock to get through here and try to get a point for the USA to continue the competitive nature of this Nations Cup, which I'm really enjoying as it
30.
percolates in the background.
Steve,
It
you
does.
require 36.
Yeah, I think everyone's aware of it. And what's funny is
Game shot
Big
the
dart
second
from
leg.
Steve.
Steve Warnock. Third leg, Steve to throw first.
breaks it right back.
That's a beautiful
Game on.
break. Just quietly went about his business in that leg and breaks right back.
And Steve is a capable player of defeating Leonard Gates, especially in a race to 4. But
100.
Steve, this past year on the CDC Tour, just made a habit in round 1, round 2, taking out big names. I mean, he was the giant killer of last year.
Well, look at his nickname, the Sniper.
Mm-hmm. He was sniping the big.
It's not a coincidence, huh? He's a really nice guy too.
Oh yeah,
I've chatted with him multiple times, and
140.
he loves this whole thing that we love as well. But he loves being part of these spectacles and willing,
55.
to travel just to be involved. And he's here to compete, and he's going to make this super difficult for Leonard.
You're seeing it. Beautiful darts.
135.
Try to hit the 171 to leave 90. But that'll do just fine. Leonard back on 381.
I think another thing,
100.
if we
Stevie require 126.
flip the coin a little bit, shouldn't be that much pressure on Steve, in all honesty. The expectations would be that Leonard,
86.
based on form, should win this, based on the track record of 4-0 that you informed us of.
100.
And if he can go up there,
Stevie
play his
require
game,
40.
pressure-free, hit when he needs to hit, there's all possibilities.
35.
He doesn't want to do stuff like that, and the only silver lining he's got that Leonard's way back in 181, but he still has to fix this 5.
Which is
100.
if my opponent's on
require
181 and I have 10 left, it split there, right?
Yeah. I don't know if he. Yeah, it's
Game
Doesn't
shot in
matter.
the third leg. Steve Warnock.
We can talk
Fourth
about it all day
leg,
long,
Leonard
but
to
he
throw
hit it, so it
first.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's why
Game
let
on.
the darts do the talking. That was as clean as a 2-dart out as we've seen with 68 and various other 56s that we've seen. Little 5, single 1, double
100.
2. And he moves into a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, he made that 5 look way too easy.
It was beautiful.
It was
41.
They're still singing here at the White Eagle Hall in Jersey City, New Jersey. Shout out once again.
140.
This great venue. There's a cool wall in the upstairs mezzanine area that is signed by all the previous players here. Steve.
140.
Previous musicians, whoever's played here, and the Impractical
The
Jokers
different
are on there.
entertainment acts and artists that have been in this venue. It's really cool.
85.
It's a treat to be here. So this is the type of scoring leg that we would expect from Leonard.
100.
Yeah, it's definitely better. An 80 average for Leonard is 81 average is very subpar.
Oh
from
yeah,
what he's been doing.
He could add 10, 15 to that
125.
in the blink of an eye if the treble starts clicking. But he's doing what he needs to do here to level us back up. It's down to 51 after 12.
140.
Big darts there from
Leonard
Steve.
require 51.
Just letting him know I'm here if you don't clean this 51 up.
Tops. Double 10. Double
31.
trouble, and you hear the come on
Stevie
Gator
require 80.
from Leonard Gates.
This is a chance for Warnock. He's going to get 2 at double 10. That's a good marker for him.
And he hits it.
There we go.
Steve Warnock.
And he gives a big
Fifth
come
leg,
on.
Steve to throw
3-1 up, another break of throw, and
Game
he is
on.
throwing to knock out Leonard Gates. As Leonard Gates wipes his brow.
I feel like Leonard might be standing in front of the
95.
front of the camera angle there. He was doing so.
95 from Steve. So a nice enough open. Finds a big treble. Leonard's going to have to throw
93.
15 or fewer to have a hope of breaking back and extending this match. Where did this come from? From Warnock?
He's averaging 87. That's really not out of his
85.
range at all.
He's
of
just
what he
going
can do.
about his business.
Yep.
Taking outs. Punishing small mistakes that Gates has made, which there haven't been that
59.
many.
there's been nothing major at all. He's just not hitting the doubles, and Steve's right there to clean it up.
Yeah.
And you would love to continue that.
Oh, look at those 2 darts.
24.
Slides into the 1 there.
Opening.
So this is a chance. Big chance. Gates needs a couple of trebles.
57.
Not to be.
And you understand the confidence that Leonard Gates has as a dart player now. I mean, he went over to the UK to play in a qualifying tournament for the Champion of Champions that had over 100 players in it.
137.
Big setup there from Steve
137 to leave 160. This is starting to look squeaky bum time for Leonard Gates.
This is starting 55. To look like a Canadian
Steve, you require 160.
massacre today.
He's got 6 darts to knock Gates out here. You think Leonard just put his darts on the table? Or no, maybe not.
100.
It's a good enough setup there.
Wow.
What pressure will he be under? Is it going to be maximum? Not quite.
100. Steve, you require 60.
Gets Indian out. He's going to be hoping that Steve can't convert this. Steve's got 2 darts to win the match here. Double 10 to knock Leonard Gates out, the number 2 seed, and does so.
Wow.
And the match, Steve Warnock.
What an upset in match number 8 tonight. Our final match on this of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, give your opponents here a round of applause.
Leonard Gates is out.
That's a big upset. Full credit to Steve Warnock. We talked about the format. We talked about race to 4. He built up a head of steam and he did not relent. And he did not give Leonard a chance to get back into it. So full credit to Steve Warnock on a great win.
Wow.
And chalks up another one for the nation of Canada.
Oh, Canada is just dominating. And honestly, can they lose the cup now? They can't. They automatically are guaranteed 2 more points. So that'll do it, realistically, for the Nations Cup. How crazy is that? So Canada is going to retain that, or get it for the first time, as Steve Warnock will do battle with John Norman Jr., and Keith Way will play Jim Long. So they're guaranteed a point in each one of those matches. Crazy, right?
You heard it here, folks.
I mean, now that that's settled, we got a whole rest of this tournament to settle. 7 matches to go tomorrow.
We have some lovely matchups in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
With my pick of them is Jake versus Alex.
I like that one. I like Jules versus Jeff.
Yeah. Steve and John Norman Jr., that's going to be I'm sure they've played each other a lot over the years. And then another 2 Canadians up in the other part of the bracket, Keith Way versus Jim Long, who both got through deciders.
Yep.
And both had to scrap to get there in slightly different ways, both coming from behind as well. Super, super stuff.
Wow. So the Canadians take 6 of the first 8, essentially wrapping up the Nations Cup, but a lot left to go. Keith Way, Jim Long, Jake Taylor versus Alex Spellman. Steve Warnock taking on John Norman Jr., and then Jules Van Dongen taking on Jeff Smith. The first match will be Alex Spellman versus Jacob Taylor tomorrow, and I cannot wait, buddy.
It's going to be an absolute stormer to kick us off. What a great day.
Great day.
Lots of entertainment. Fans, fantastic. Venue, fantastic.
We want to thank all of the people that were watching along with us on YouTube and on PDC.TV. We appreciate that. I'm Sean Green, joined by my partner, Mark Taggart. We will see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss it. We will see you then. Have a great night, guys.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that brings to an end our